contact?
No, we should have asked that question firsthand.
I mean, he did follow you into the system, but he has been intentionally avoiding you.
Yep,
So
we don't have a secure way of doing all of that stuff either.
that's true too.
I don't know if going in fire truck styles like the best way to do this. We got all of our recon done, and it was the idea to do the fire truck, but the idea might actually be to send somebody in as a scientist. We're gonna have to just source credentials to get in there.
Okay. Well, let's cover the two players that weren't here last time.
Yes.
So we have Randall and Clax, and you guys are kind of a second wave. You stayed with the ship initially to make sure it was all buttoned down and secure when the first team went down. I'm gonna metagame and like railroad a thing in here, and say that the captain called you and said we need a place to operate on the planet. We can't be going back and forth to the ship constantly while we're doing this. So find us like an empty warehouse or something and rent it out. And that's going to be the mission you two guys have been given. Now this is a major core world, so I'm going to tell you up front, 90% of what you're carrying, Clax, will not be allowed on the planet.
I don't even remember all of what my character was carrying.
Well, I mean, the thing that's sticking out in my mind is the Z6 rotary cannon. Kind of hard to get through customs, but also your blaster carbine. Like, both of those things are not just, they won't let you bring it, they are illegal. So, that's things to keep in mind.
Is it
Okay, what about
that...
those two pistols I'm carrying? Are those good?
Only if you are a resident and apply for a permit. You cannot bring any weapons unless you are a resident and apply for a permit, which so far they have not done.
Also, one of those guns shoots acid bullets. Feel like that's a little bit illegal.
There should be two in that stack. There might only be one, but I thought there were two in that stack.
It's not illegal, it's just they're not allowed through customs at this starport. You could probably land somewhere else on Corellia and bring it down, but not here. Or you can apply for a permit, or you can just buy guns on the planet, because it's not like there aren't guns on Corellia. It's just that legally, as a visitor, you're not supposed to carry them.
I don't know. I think it'd be fun if he just went down empty-handed and wrestled somebody until he got a gun.
I mean, I'm down for that. I don't remember how much money my guy has, though, to do that.
You guys don't have a ton of personal credits. I'm assuming the captain would wire you funds to figure out the warehouse situation. None of the other players went and got firearms. They've done everything they did in the last session without a single gun.
But we can find somebody on planet to smuggle our weapons.
If you want to go that route, you probably could. It would be way cheaper and more efficient just to buy blasters locally. Like, it is... None of you, except for Clax, have anything specialized. But you can do it any way you want.
I could also live without my big gun for a little bit if I need to.
Wait until you see the inside of this place before you make that call. Because, as I remember, it's pretty brutal in there.
You also remember there are secondary objectives here.
Yeah, the secondary objective, though, is that we don't get caught and don't kill a bunch of people.
Don't kill any civilians.
Right. So going in there guns blazing isn't the idea anyway.
Well, not just that, but you have to realize Coronet City is the capital of Corellia. Corsec is a galaxy-wide famous security force. If you go in guns blazing, metagame, the chances of this party making it out alive are less than 10%. Like, even if you had Maul, Artemis, and Kizik, you would not make it out alive.
Right.
Or at least not without getting arrested.
Sick would turn himself in. No. You didn't capture me. I'm not the right person. Check that records report again.
I mean, if it comes to a hand-to-hand fight, I'll still be useful, so I'm not terribly concerned if I don't have my guns.
Okay, yeah, because that's probably how we're gonna go in, is not guns blazing. I need you to, go ahead and try to rent a warehouse somewhere close by. But the problem that we're also gonna run into is that we need probably a crazy good slicer to get into that vault.
You can do some slicing.
Oh,
Is
man.
it enough, though?
It's like, yeah, metagame. I do have 4 intelligence and a yellow for computers. Whether or not I have a full slicing set of slicing gear. Well, I don't have that yet.
Only one of you has a slicer's kit. I can't remember who it is.
Hmm.
It's the
Master Was.
It's the spy character.
Yeah.
And in the case of this kind of system, this isn't a slicer gear would be nice. This is a, if you don't have slicer gear, you cannot make the check. Like, there's a difference between a door handle at 7-Eleven and a military-grade research lab as far as what you can do. So when he says you need a super good slicer, he's talking about, once again, I hate to bring it back up again, but he means a Kizik level slicer is what he would ideally want.
I'm sure we can find somebody on Corellia that is a Kizik level slicer, right?
Do they exist on Corellia, or will you be able to find them? That's really the question. I'm sure that someone with those statistics would exist somewhere on this planet. Whether or not they would want to have anything to do with you, and whether or not you'd be able to find them, is really the question.
You want me to do a leadership check then?
You don't have the stats to even try that. That's. I don't think you're gonna. I mean, you can. We're talking about like a 6 red check if you want to take the leadership approach. You don't know anybody here. Don't have any contacts. I mean, it'd be more likely to be a streetwise check than a leadership check. Leadership, someone who you already have under your control. I don't think that's a realistic way to go about it.
Would the astromech we have any luck in that stuff?
Yeah, that's. I mean, just as much as anyone else.
Could I go to the... Yeah, I feel like slicers wouldn't be in the library. I don't know why I thought... I'd go to the library and start talking real smart. As I think about that, it's probably one of the dumbest plans ever. Especially for someone that claims to be smart.
Go to a local micro center.
Okay, so you guys are going to be coming through customs. So you're leaving behind your weapons, I'm assuming?
Correct.
I will be leaving behind my weapons.
Okay, you guys make it through customs, you grab a taxi, it takes you down to the customs center on the planet, you go through customs again, and now you are on the streets of Coronet looking for a warehouse. Who's going to do what?
Alright, so... we have the knowledge that we are supposed to find a warehouse, or do we actually have coordinates to a warehouse?
Sorry,
So
kid-
what
kid
you'll
distracted
have,
me.
you'll have the knowledge that we're going to the Blast Tech skyscraper to do a job, and I'm looking for a warehouse within X price range and X distance from that skyscraper.
Okay. Well, I'll go to the local, whatever it is, library tech center.
You really want to go to the library. Okay, so you go to the library. Clax, what are you doing? You in on this?
That way I can do a quick Google search. Or maybe even a Wikipedia search.
I'll be looking for a dockmaster style person and talk to them to figure out where a empty bay is in the general vicinity the captain is looking for.
Okay. Clax, give me skullduggery.
That's going to be a 1 green roll for me.
Okay, but you're looking for something that's going to be 1 purple. Randall, give me a computers check. 1 purple. After he's done.
Somebody needs to roll that for me. I'm not in the table.
That's going to be problematic. We need to work on that.
Hey, you found something.
You found something.
This should be the only time it's like that for me. Sorry.
It's all good.
Alright, what's my computer's check?
1 purple. You're both
Watch me
fine,
fail
so-
this.
Oh.
Hey, I found something.
Randall found one that's free. It's got junk in it, but basically they're like, look, we just don't want the thugs making a home in here, so if you guys want to like babysit it for a week, maybe clean it up a little bit, I don't care what you do with it, and boom, you got a free one.
That's awesome. Is it close?
It is within a couple blocks, so it's relatively close, but not so close that you would be sad. Here it is. It's an empty warehouse. You found a base to operate out of.
Alright. Hey, Captain, this thing cost 500 credits. Yeah, I probably shouldn't try to be that greedy.
You do you, bro.
500 credits for how long? A week? Month?
Yeah, a week. It was the shortest they could give it to us for.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work out in a week, but we're gonna try it. All right. So did you pay him with like the corporate card, and I just have to reimburse you, or you know, one or the other?
Screw it. This thing's free.
I just needed you to turn in an invoice, man. Like,
I don't other stuff to try to do to bullshit through just to get a couple hundred credits is not one of them.
I'm sure you could make up a fake receipt. It's all good. Nice. So we just had to clear it out.
Yep, we just have to clear it out, and apparently there's some thugs that may come by every once in a while, and we have our flint and bug guy to scare them off, and I'm sure if Master Waz is practicing his martial arts in here, he'll also freak him out a little bit.
Speaking of.
I mean, if
And I
the
hope
ship's
he's not
landed, I will
driving.
definitely shoot them with the ship guns.
Nice. Craven, you're not driving while you're tabletopping, are you?
No, I just got home.
Hey, welcome home, man.
Yep.
Sounds tired.
Long drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be awesome. So, for the record, you guys haven't actually bought the chassis you found for the fire truck if you decide to go that route, but you have gotten a lead on one.
Right, yeah, we know where it is. See, the problem with buying the fire truck is that then we have to source kitting it out, which is going to be expensive. We have to source uniforms. We have to source credentials. We've got to do some light training. I don't have a slicer that can get into the vault. Like, I'm kind of at a roadblock here. All my thoughts have gotten to nothing. I mean, we know that there's a bunch of guards inside that are going to start shooting at us, but we don't have weapons. We're going to have to buy some of those. So this whole thing is becoming like a super expensive mission for maybe 50,000 credits because we're probably going to dork this up.
I mean,
I
heists are complicated.
Have you considered
Right.
smash and grab?
That we can't smash and grab.
Explain.
The conversation before you got here is if your last set of super high-level characters would have tried this, they would have failed.
As far as just blasting. But the other
Okay.
thing is let me throw you a bone here. When I say you can't just hire a slicer to do this, What I mean is, your logic, from what I understood, was I want to hire a slicer. It's just going to roll the dice, and bam, we're in, and we don't have to worry about anything else. You could hire splicers for less important, specific things rather than just I want them to fix all my problems and open the vault. And it would be easier to do those things. The people you have in the party could actually do tasking. It's not like slicing's off the table. You're just not going to be able to open the vault with just a slicing check. That's not going to be a thing that's going to happen. It doesn't
Right,
mean
so
it doesn't mean you couldn't use a slicer to say trigger the fire alarm or other things or open or close doors. You're going to have to give it a lot more thought than I think the party's really used to doing, because heists are not going to be simple, they're going to be complicated. They're not meant to be done in one session.
Yes, I'm tracking that. So you said that it couldn't be cut or exploded, and it can't be sliced. I'm just thinking about the vault here and working my way
Have we
backwards.
thought about short-circuiting it so it auto-resets and opens? Some vaults do that.
So
You
from
said
what
to-
we
You shoot
gained,
the lock.
so
you
we
just have to
did
shoot the lock.
recon. It's not just shoot the lock.
Yeah, just shoot the lock. It's Star Wars canon.
So we did recon last time, and this place is like backup generators, and yeah, we're gonna have to blow up a bunch of shit if we want to do that, or
So-
disable
so
a
to
bunch
go-
of shit to do that.
Go back over that again. There are shield generators, and there are backup batteries for those shield generators. The vault itself is made out of starship hull plating. I didn't say it couldn't be cut. I said that it would take a beam drill about 8 hours to cut through it. Those are different things.
Yes, because
Um,
that's on the table. The 8 hours of beam drilling.
Depending on how you do it, in my mind, that was one of the 5 ways I thought you could do this. Yes, that was 100% on the table. If you want to do something that's a little bit more explosive, you could also try blowing out the walls. The problem with that comes into how do you blow out that level of plating without destroying what's inside.
What's the floor made of?
We also went over the floor. You guys figured out in the last session that the roof was the weakest point in the vault. It's still armored, but it was the weakest point. We also talked about dropping the entire vault out, which you guys said, that's probably going to result in collateral damage, which you are correct. But it's still a way you could get the vault. There's also the sneak in way. I mean, you guys were joking about it, but the whole disassemble the pain bot and have him reassembled on the inside, and then have an inside man who triggers a way for the rest of the party to get in, or have the spy pretend to be someone or sneak in. Those are all options.
How do I reassemble myself? I didn't actually know that was a thing. Do I have a little wire body
I mean,
like Cyborg from Teen Titans Go?
it's not quite like that, but there are ways to do it. That there's, because you guys got some of the layouts, so you know that there are assembly desks, basically 3D printers already in there. You could also, because you're a droid, be reassembled into, say, a cleaning bot or something.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is we do have an astromech, and they're relatively common in most places, so maybe just get our astromech a set of credentials to get in, and then have it be able to let us in and do everything could also be a way to go about it. That might be easier. It's just to get one set for the astromech, and then the astromech can let us in and run interference.
I would much rather do it because it seems like there's a higher probability that I get myself killed.
That's what this is all about.
That's why
He
you
has a
want.
death wish.
That's why you want.
You decided you don't like the pain bot?
I hate Painbot.
It's gotten more visceral every time.
I suddenly understand why I hate every robot that everyone plays. I just hate robots.
Thought you loved Igor.
I did, but not at first.
He also really loved that ammunition loader bot. Can't remember his name.
Which one is that?
The one that was like Repo's Ken.
Oh, Reaper.
Reaper. There you go.
Yeah, that's the one I made. And literally, I only liked him because I hated Repo. He was literally created because I hated Repo. But I may hate Painbot worse than I hated Repo.
Okay. Well,
It's like you have to be an asshole because you're a droid.
I would just want to warn you that the alternate character that you're so excited about is going to have highly limited utility in this party.
I'm fine with that.
I don't know that I am, but we'll see.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, we may have to change the entire campaign if I end up with 2 characters based along those lines.
I'll see what I can rework.
Anyway, so back to this heist. I mean, are you guys so daunted by this that you don't want to do it? Because that would throw away a lot of the prep time I spent. But I'd like to know how you're feeling about that. I feel like there are options, but it is complicated.
There are also vents to crawl around in that I was kind of excited about.
There are vents to crawl around in, that's correct.
Also, a mechanic inside a vent is terrifying.
Also, just a quick question. So we said the top was the weakest point. What would it take for us to get through the top with minimal damage? Were we able to establish that at any point?
So, I mean, I think it would cut your cutting. It would drop your cutting down significantly. You guys haven't actually acquired real floor plans. You just talked to people about how it's set up. So I'm debating how much information to give you, but you do know that the top of the vault's the weakest because you did get the schematics of the actual vault. And you do know that there is a ton of air circulation equipment that runs in and around this lab area because this floor is dedicated to the construction of some kind of missile.
We don't have information about the missile, never mind.
We can get information. We just got to find a scientist and get him drunk and have Pingbot inject him with something that lets him talk to us.
I mean, yeah,
And then,
that's pretty much what they did last time.
I mean, well, my thought is, could we make something go wrong with the missile production or something like that that would cause all the scientists and civilians to get out of there, but its explosion could still potentially rupture the vault, and then we drop in, grab the stuff, and get out of there.
So I think that was half of our plan last time. We were going to trigger a fire alarm, have all the scientists and civilians get out with the fire drill, which we could still do, but that was only half of it. The other half is that there's still a bunch of guards inside, like bots and things, that will trigger on anybody that's still in there.
well, they'll trigger once you go inside the vault, which is where we want to go.
Ion grenades would probably help.
I mean, we're looking at one floor of this building, the 6th or 40.
Second.
42nd, because 42.
Yeah, 42nd floor. If we get the plans, floor plans of the building, we can see what's on 43. Maybe it's way less secure, and then cut into the floor of 43 to get to 42.
How many floors are there?
Total?
I'm gonna say 100 or so.
Okay. Well, I was saying if we could figure out how to cut the vault loose, we could just tractor beam the vault out the window.
Well, going back to that floor idea, if we can get floor plans and maybe the room above or below or next to or something like that isn't secured, and we could somehow get our hands on that room for an extended period of time, we could maybe get into a vault through a different floor or something like that and be able to get the stuff and then escape out like a window or something on the 41st or 43rd floor and get away, maybe.
Okay, so let's break this down and do a part of the mission that you need. It sounds like you need a schematic for the building. Let's concentrate on how would you get a schematic for the building.
Is there public records?
That's a good place to start. Someone was talking about the library earlier. I think he really wants to go to the library.
Yeah, I can go back.
If you guys want to go to the library, I could go to the. Did I ever finish filing? Yeah, I finished filing our paperwork. Do we have more paperwork we need to file?
I can give you. Yeah, I actually want to go ahead and get. You said that it's only citizens, right?
Yeah, so you can
They
do
can-
you can do a resident permit, but you now have a quote unquote residence in the warehouse.
Right? Can I? Yeah. So warehouse is my address. I am now a permanent resident of Corellia, and I'd like to get my concealed carry permit or open carry permit, whatever the fuck they're gonna give me.
You, as the captain of the ship, can authorize the bot to do that. He's gonna cut through some bureaucratic red tape for you.
Awesome.
Also, quick question because I wasn't here last time. The gunnery ship and fighter that we made off with, what did we do with them?
Yeah, about that.
So that was in the summary that Tizik.
I only saw something about the fighter in there. I must have missed the thing about the gunny.
The gunship got sold. Both of them, you guys now know, are registered with the boss as pirate vessels and have been permanently flagged, meaning they cannot be sold legitimately. And if any legitimate security forces spot them, they will fire at you because they are considered pirate ships.
And the other one is
Okay, so
now
we
our,
got rid of them completely.
no, one is our launch ship that's on the big ship in orbit
Yeah,
on the Proto Shadow.
they stuck the launch ship in storage and put the fast attack craft they crammed it into the launch bay on the ship. It is still super illegal, but it's powered down, so nobody's reading the transponder or anything. That's right there.
All right.
So if we need an attack weapon, we kind of have one.
You have a single starfighter.
Yep. I wouldn't. Yeah, that's like the worst possible. Like a cap gun against an army.
I mean, there are situations where it could really come in handy.
You just have to go through the vents with the thing, and then shoot a single proton torpedo into the heart of the structure, and it blows the whole thing up. So every ship has this fatal flaw. You just have to find the right vent.
Yeah, it doesn't shoot torpedoes, though.
Does it have a tractor beam or anything like that?
No. Starfighters traditionally don't have a tractor beam.
I know traditionally they don't. I wasn't sure if because it had been a previous pirate one and they might have done something. Figured it was worth asking.
I do have stats for it. If you want to check out the stream, I'll give you a quick look.
Okay, so you said that Clax can go to the library.
Well, I was going to go back to the library and look at public records.
Yeah, it's Randall.
And I think
Oh, Randall.
I think amongst some of my other things I'm searching for may also be if they're trying to hire scientists for this project, because apparently they're doing weapon research.
That is also a legitimate thing you could do. So
I believe I have some credentials for that.
you want to search the building structure stuff on the local.
Thank you for that.
And you want to apply for a job at Blast Tech, saying that you specialize in complex explosives and what else?
Yeah, it was primarily complex explosives and explosive metallurgy. So
Explosive metallurgy.
While he's doing that, I would also like to put in an application as a heavy weapons specialist in use and facilitation.
All right, you can try that. You don't stand as good of a chance of getting there, but you can try that. So Randall, for the first one, you're gonna spin out. That's gonna be a 3 red computers check for the floor plans. That is not easily accessible information. While it might exist, it is protected information, and if you get caught searching for it, it's gonna be bad.
Since I'm there with him, can I go ahead and assist him with that so he gets an extra blue die?
Sure. Well, he goes out 2 blue.
That's right, you're Geonosian. It's your special ability.
ooh.
I think that's your special ability. Yeah.
All right. I'm debating if I should try to change one of these reds down to a purple.
It's important that we get the floor plans. And I'm kind of coming up blank right now about how else we'd get it if they weren't here. We could probably harass an architect or something.
Actually, what we could do is go to the building Okay, and so you've got residents. You're looking at starting a business on Corellia, and you're looking for office space. And so you go there and you talk to the building, not the engineer, the not maintenance
Manager.
Managers.
manager. Yes, building manager. That's the word I'm looking for. To kind of see like what kind of space they have for available, and when they show you the floor plan, you ask about, well, what about this floor? Because we'd really like to be kind of not at the top of the skyline, but maybe like midway, or you know what I'm saying? And they'll say, well, we don't have that available. We have this, which is built exactly like it. Or we really like, we did a tour of Blast Deck and we really liked what we saw. We were wondering if you had any other spaces just like theirs.
Well, the whole building is owned by Blastech. With that said, they own a building, so they do rent out other spaces. But it is important to keep in mind that 85% of the building is Blastech because they own the whole building.
Yeah. My one thing was, is anybody against me using a force or a destiny token to downgrade this check?
I'm not
I,
against.
No,
I'm
I
not
think it's our
against
best bet. So
but I'm going to say this now. You are going to despair. You may also triumph, but you will despair.
I flipped it for you.
All right, it's already been flipped. All right.
Unfortunately, you don't find the building floor plans. For advantages, what you do find is that a large amount of baridium, a substance you have a lot of experience with, and you only recognize it because they've been using its Star Wars equivalent of its atomic number to list it, which not as many people know, but you do. They're receiving large shipments, incredibly large shipments of this material.
That's an explosive. That's a big explosive.
Yeah. Seems like it's a place where I want to work.
I thought that our contact last time told us that whatever he wanted inside the vault wasn't volatile.
He did say that.
But he also didn't tell us what was in the vault that he wanted.
He wants
How
everything.
will we know it?
He wants everything in the vault. If it isn't nailed down, he wants it, and he wants the entire. There's going to be a computer terminal in there, and he wants the entire contents of that computer terminal.
how big is this vault?
It's not huge. It's about a quarter the size of this warehouse.
And so you negotiated 50K, but not expenses, I assume.
So what the deal was 50K if we get the information out of the vault, but it was 100K if we can do it without anybody knowing it was us or that it was even hit.
And avoiding civilian casualties.
Hmm.
Would you
And
like-
I'm presuming the quantities that he saw come in were larger than would be able to fit in the vault.
Well, you have to understand it's relative. So, baridium. If you have enough baridium to have a spot underneath your fingernail, you have enough for like a thermal detonator. So it's all relative. If you have a kilo-sized brick of baridium, you have a planetary scale weapon.
And how much did he see come in?
Several bricks.
So it could be in the vault.
In which case, if we explosively get into that vault, Corellia might not exist anymore.
I mean, Corellia.
No. It
Corellia
just,
would exist. It'd just have a hole in Coronet that you'd be able to see
Yeah.
from orbit.
yeah, planetary scale means it does damage on
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Planetary scale. Yeah.
like there's personal scale, vehicle scale, planetary scale.
Is that what the shield generators are for then? They're not really to keep people out, it's to contain an explosion if it happened?
That's a really good question. I also may have said something about there being inertial dampeners in there in case of some accidental thing happening.
Right.
Starting to click together.
Yes.
I'm not liking this guy you got the job from.
And have we looked at getting a lower end slicer who might not be perfect but can get the job done? Like outsourcing that, or is one of us able to fit that niche?
I mean, I think the official answer was one of us will be able to fit that niche.
Yeah, it's got to be a targeted area, not just magically we slice and the vault's open. But I think the next thing, so knowing what I know, I'll at least give people the heads up. Hey, there's a shit whack of beryllium in here, and I am definitely excited to apply for a job here.
Yeah,
I would
check it
like to
out.
point out. I would like to point out if any of us apply for jobs and we use our real name and credentials, which is what it sounds like Randall's about to do, that would make it really difficult for them to not know who did this.
That's hilarious, considering something I know about Randall's character and you don't.
Good. Just saying. I knew he wasn't a real doctor.
Oh, but I am a doctor.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, just being told that there was a bunch of beridium in there or around here, like, I'm not feeling this whole mission anymore.
I mean, also, Clax was looking at applying, but he was effectively applying as someone who's very proficient with heavier weapons and could test them for them. So he doesn't necessarily need to give his credentials, just say he's really good at fighting things and he's really good at blowing things up with guns as his thing. So he doesn't actually need to give his name.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Clax is a Geonosian. They're not going to hire him.
It's racist.
It is. It's 100%. It's Corellia in the it's post Return of the Jedi, but this is still basically an Imperial place, and it is a Geonosian who the there's this stigma from the Clone Wars that they're not going to hire him. I mean, I would give you a check for it, but it'd be insane, and the chances of you getting hired are going to be really, really slim. As of where Mon-Cals almost benefit from this stigma that they're all these, super genius mechanics and blah, 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 and all this. They've got a lot of good PR going on. Now, the Imperial side still doesn't like them, but even the Imperials use Mon-Cal engineers. So they have this reputation for the thing he's applying for.
I just look down upon everybody that wears sweaters.
I'm really surprised when we started talking about this vault, you didn't say it was a trap. I was really disappointed. I was really sad. I thought you were going to find a way to shoehorn that in there.
At some point in time, I'll definitely say it.
Once it traps us in, then he'll say it's a trap.
Yeah.
After it's over.
After it's been sprung, we're riding away into the sunset.
Well, I would advise. I believe we figured out there were a lot of droids there. Some of you should have ion weapons to deal with them.
I have a couple iron grenades in my locker I could carry once we get the permit, so we can actually carry weapons here.
How's that paperwork going?
I don't know yet.
And we haven't gotten to that part, but we can do that real quick if you want. Give me a flat education roll for pain. No opposition. It's 9,000 credits to license the entire crew.
A little bit more than I've got.
Yeah, it's a metric shit ton to get licenses for the entire crew. They would be registered residents of Corellia with all the rights and such that entitles, and it also covers your permits to carry a weapon. Legal weapons, anything with a little restricted symbol, meaning both of Clax's weapons are still illegal. So he would need other weapons. He could carry his
so is my 17.
He could carry his pistol.
All right. We could just buy ion weapons here on Corellia, though, right?
Yeah, you'll be able to find those. They're not that uncommon.
All right. I think that's the way we need to go then. I sent you on a fool's errand.
And just a question: would that residency hold through past this if we ever need to come back to Corellia?
Yeah, it absolutely would. I mean,
So that could be an investment in
If they catch you, you'll be a criminal, though. So there's that too. You'd have to get away clean.
Hey, while you're there
Which was the plan anyway.
in the residency office, is there any
Yep.
way that you can check on Captain Redness just to see if he has any
Rep.
documentation or paperwork?
Repness.
Repness.
Yeah, repness.
Lania Repness.
Lanius.
Lanius. That was close.
That was close.
That's
Alright,
the
what's the
tire
check?
captain, right?
No, that's the guy we're doing the job for. What is the what's the check for him?
To look him up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just narratively. You will not find any records for him. You don't need to roll for that.
Oof. More walls. All right. See, I don't know about this guy. He sent us on this mission, told us it's not volatile, but every piece of information we've got says that it is volatile.
No, he said that the cargo was volatile. He said it would absolutely explode if you mishandled it. He told you that up front.
And we said we got a guy who likes bombs, so we okay.
That's exactly what you said.
Yes. Blow it. Let's
I think the problem is that Ghost may have been slightly intoxicated last time we were playing.
I took
Maybe.
notes and I said not volatile. I don't know what my notes are for.
Yeah. We had an actual conversation about it. It was not just a one-liner.
Did Randall get a job?
Randall hasn't applied for the job yet. I was been waiting for him to say he absolutely wants to do that.
yes, I would most certainly apply.
You're hired. They want you to start on Monday.
All right.
New employee orientation and all that jazz. They send you like 14 packets of non-disclosure agreements that say we will not just, we won't just sue you. We will murder you if you tell people about what goes on in this building.
Did you apply under your real name?
He applied as Randall Stevens, right? With
Randall
your,
Stevens.
with your credentials. You can do a forgery and we can retcon that if you want.
I was gonna go for not Randall Stevens, but maybe I'll go with Steven Snell.
Okay. Give me a 2 red and a purple for a computer's check. Make your forgery.
2 red and a purple computers.
I did read somewhere that if you were trying to come up with a fake name, you should
Yep.
get something.
So you didn't get a job, and you've blown that way in. So
Oof.
honestly, considering your person's situation, I'm amazed you didn't just say yes. I used my real name. I can't believe you risked that for that.
Damn it. Yeah, that was dumb. That was quite dumb.
I'm gonna check. So they have a job listing of like positions they have open, right?
Yes, but they're very few and far between. Like I would not pursue the job opening thing at this point. I mean, metagame, they would have let Randall walk right into the vault. Like that would have been the end. That was how I was planning on you guys doing it. So that's one of your 5 ways in that's now not accessible.
Fuck, my bad. What was I thinking?
Yeah, I mean, metagame. It's already fake. Why would you bother?
Yeah.
Why?
No, that was dumb. I clearly need to drink some more wine here.
Wait, you say you need to drink more wine?
Yes. To forget about my poor decision here.
I was thinking maybe less wine to make less of the poor decisions.
Nah,
No.
it's more fun this way. Is it red or white?
Red.
Classy. I prefer white wine. I'm trashy.
Hold on, box or bottle?
It's not box or bottle. It's called Car Bordeaux. All right.
Hold on, no, box or bottle?
I'm drinking bottle.
Okay. You may keep your classy card.
Dixie cup or wine cup?
I've actually got a nice.
Mason
It's
jar.
called a wine glass.
Yes, I have a wine glass here. It is stemless.
Can anybody think of any other way to get a floor plan for this place?
You can walk around with the droid and have him just Oh, but we still need to get inside. That's the less exciting part.
Actually, that don't drop that too easily.
Do they
what
just
about
give tours out?
They don't give tours out per se, but a lot of the custodial work in any building like this is done by droids.
I come back to my suggestion to get our astromech credentials so he can go in the building.
Not the exact right direction.
Let's go for Dr. Payne. Have him be a cleaning droid.
Also not the right direction. I mean, you could probably get Pain in the building, but I'm thinking Maestro.
What happens if we... Yeah, that's what I was about to say. What happens if we, like, commandeer a Maestroid or something before it goes into the building and just put, like, a tracking chip on it and let it map the building for us?
That's
Or-
the most efficient way, yes.
Yeah.
Let's go hang around the alleys and look for Maestroids going in and out.
Aren't there like tiny little droids you can put and then release in the building once they're in there?
Remote droids, that's another way you could do it, yes. That's a little bit more obvious. Like, if they catch one, they'll know there's been a breach, but that would probably do the job in an hour as opposed to a day. Commandeering a few of the mice droids, which you would know because it's just common the way that they do it in the Star Wars universe, that they're cleaning and mouse droids that do all that stuff. They're contracted from an outside service, so there's like someone who maintains these droids and brings them to and from the building on a pseudo regular basis. This is a
We know a
vulnerability.
guy. We know a guy. We know a guy. Hold on. We
I don't think he's on this planet.
yeah, but we still know a guy who would know, I have his address and everything.
Who are you talking
So
about?
we did get all his information from
Because
whenever...
I told him if we get turned in, I will
That wasn't Pain, though.
who was
That
it?
was in the test one-off we did for me.
Oh, damn it.
But yes, that exact same thing. That's the kind of service I'm talking about. I may have to make that same guy now. He moved to Corellia. He had a really bad experience out on the rim, and he decided, I'm going to the core worlds where this shit never happens. That might be exactly what I do now.
All right. Well, let's find a guy like that, and I can make him do what we want him to do.
Okay.
So you just gonna post up and wait for the mice droid guy?
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to be a mouse droid, Dr. Payne? Just do a little quick swap.
No, not really. Yes.
I don't know that you could make him that small.
I mean, we just move his CPU into the mouse droid. It's fine.
Well, the way I do it is his whole head would have to go, just for simplification purposes. We've had a lot of droid shenanigans in this party over the past few years. Oh, I can't find the specialist guy. Did I skip over him?
Wait, so if we put my head in a mouse droid, we could program the mouse droid to make a body for me with the 3D replicators?
So it doesn't have to be a mouse. I think a mouse droid is too small for what you're trying to do, but that doesn't mean that the entire plan is bad. You could program some droids to rebuild your body. You could also smuggle your body in bit by bit by bit.
Okay. That might be the way to go.
I can't find specialists. That makes me sad.
I think I'd rather go with the replication because then I can get a new body.
I have a couple on standby you could use.
Less Frankenstein.
The question is, would this new body change any of your stats?
No,
No, I'm not looking for stat changes.
that is one of my other caveats. You can
What's
do
the caveat?
You can do things cosmetically, but changing stats is a whole different thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking to change stats.
Let's see. A Treadwell makes a good cleaning droid. So you guys are posting up outside waiting for the cleaner guy to come and go?
We're going to watch him once to see what kind of droids he uses and then make a droid that has Dr. Payne inside it and just do a quick swap. Stop him real quick.
Actually, what I was thinking, I'm going to kidnap him and torture him until he gives us all the information we want.
That's a substantial crime. I feel like
But we're getting hold up. We're getting ready to rob Blastek, and you're worried about a kidnapping charge?
I'm worried that a kidnapped person might say, hey, a kidnapping happened right outside of Blastek. Let's run some cameras and see who kidnapped him. Oh, there's
Why
a
would we
freaking
kidnap
droid.
him right outside of Blastek? That's a terrible idea. Why would we wait outside the building? You wait outside the building to find out who he is. Then you track him to his home and take him, not during work hours, away from prying eyes. I torture him until I break his mind and he gives us everything we want. And, boom bam.
So you just fucked this poor dude's life all up.
He'll be alive.
I think that also might violate that don't harm civilians part of this.
He's not going to be harmed. Lobotomized, maybe. But not harmed.
Mental
Physically-
scarring is still harming.
That is such bullshit.
Which is the other reason why I think that it's so funny that you guys are like, I don't know if we can trust this guy. If he were really a bad guy, you think he'd be that concerned about civilian casualties?
Oh no, I'm not concerned about him being a bad guy. I totally know he's not a bad guy. I just think he's kind of scummy and he's underpaying us.
So what's the easiest Occam's razor thing that we can do here with the mice droids? That's not torture and kill this guy.
Okay, so first
Maybe we could,
I mean, I may not
Buy
have
him
to
out.
torture and kill. I'm not going to kill him. I may not have to torture him. It depends on how strong-willed he is.
I think easiest way, bribe him, say, hey, can I have a mouse droid for 20 minutes? Reprogram that mouse droid, and then have him send that mouse droid in.
I like that idea.
that's money
Not-
well spent in my mind.
Not even a little bit of torture.
No, this guy's like an innocent bystander, basically.
Not today.
Let's
Not if he
see
accepts a bribe. If he accepts
if
a
he-
bribe, he's not an innocent bystander.
if he doesn't take the bribe, we can move on to Plan Z. But
Wait, so if he does turn out to be a good guy, then we're going to torture him.
no. You can take bribes and still be a good guy. It's
Hmm.
not like he's a fucking cop. He's a janitorial dude.
You organics have such strange rules. I could just get the information from him.
It's called morality. It's one of those hard-won things that we organics had to go through to become.
Oh yeah, that's why we're going to steal some things from Blastek. That makes sense because we're moral.
Yes, we need the money.
Oh,
Money
and
and
that,
morals goes hand in hand.
Man, I can type today. I can.
Don't you know how capitalism works?
hold on.
Money
I
is the
don't have
driving factor.
I don't have an olfactory sensor, but I am detecting shit.
I don't want to hear any more crap about how you don't like how when Jeremy played droids, because you're doing the
I
same
hate how I
thing.
play them too. I just want to kill him.
Okay.
So you're saying that he comes by the warehouse? So like we actually follow him from Blastek to over where we are?
So no, this is theater of the mind. You guys are watching the building. Let's say hypothetically this is the building, and you guys see him park his truck. He always parks it in the same spot across the street. Takes his little army of droids and he goes in there, and he's in there for a good 8 hours. Then he comes back out with all his droids, and the garbage droid is all like full of garbage, and they've all been working, and it's almost every day. He's got a very regular schedule. He's a janitor.
Yeah, I think the bribery to bug one of the bots is our best bet.
All of the bots.
Yeah, we can have all the bots map this place out in less time. We just need to bribe him enough that we can basically just use his team for a day.
Or if you want to distract,
Well, he still gets his job done.
Yeah,
I'm relatively sneaky, and I can try to reprogram one real quick while you guys are talking to him, distracting him.
is the garbage droid, does it have a top on it? Or is it open?
So it has an open section, and it has a small compactor in the bottom that has a compartment in it. You guys, well, not you guys, as players, you have hidden in one before.
So Waz could fit in there, right?
Yes, one size, one creature can fit inside at a time.
Yeah.
It makes tiny little cans out of whatever you crush in there.
It does. You do not want the button to get hit while you're inside.
Yeah, should another option is we can tell the guy that we are a droid maintenance crew and we can improve the performance of his droids.
I'm sure that Mr. Clean here could do like upgrade his performance anyway. I don't know if that lie is gonna stick.
Maybe I'm oversimplifying and thinking that because he's a janitor, he's not very intelligent, and we can probably pull a fast one on him.
I think he is a businessman. And
I
these
mean, I
robots
think
are
our best
employees.
bets. I think our best bet's to start with the bribe, and then if that doesn't work, we figure something else out to
All right,
get around this guy.
I'm gonna bribe him.
So is his deal that he goes and works at Blast Tech for 8 hours and then goes home and then comes back to Blast Tech the next day and does the whole thing again? Or does he have other places
Do
that he
you
goes?
want to follow him?
I think that this is worthwhile, that we should follow him because we don't want to do this right in front of Blast Tech anyway.
I agree. You don't have a vehicle, though. That's the only catch.
If it would help, I can fly, and I'll just follow the vehicle and keep my comlink on and tell them where we're going.
But you can do that. That's the thing you can do. Go ahead and give me a 1 red planetary piloting check for your flying to try to keep up to this thing while he's zipping down the street.
I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom.
So someone's gonna need to roll that for me. I have 4 green in that.
Mr. Kizik is on it. He's got you covered.
I don't hit the roll button though. I'll just get it set up.
Okay, you are on this guy like white on rice, and he does not ever look up, so you have a pretty easy... Your hardest thing you have to do is occasionally you have to dodge the multi-layer traffic. And what ends up happening is he does stop by a couple of other places, and 1 or 2 droids pile into the back of the truck at these other locations. And then he goes to his own little warehouse, which is not actually right next to yours, but is the same kind of warehouse as yours. And as he opens the door and goes in, you'd get a view and you'd see that it's his residence and his business. And he's got like bits of droids everywhere. He blatantly assembles them out of whatever he can find and then rents them out to places as cleaning droids. And that's his business.
So I'll go ahead and find a nook and cranny outside where I won't necessarily get bothered by anyone and call the team, let them know where I am and that I found his residence and headquarters so we can talk to him.
Yeah, I'll head that way.
Yeah. So it sounds like we found a maintenance droid for our little. You as the captain, you just go talk to him. I, as the sneaky guy, is going to go look at a couple of different droids while you're just having a conversation about what it would cost to maybe clean one of our little warehouse.
That's not what I'm going to do.
Or have someone to be cleaning our ship or bribing him to let us actually do what our sneaky guy is doing at the same time.
All right, who's making the approach? Who wants to have the conversation with Mr. Clean?
Yeah, I'll talk to Mr. Clean.
Okay. So you just roll up, knock on his door?
Yes, I will.
All right, you knock on his door. There's a slight hesitation, but then the door slides only part of the way open. It's not the best neighborhood. And this Bessalist looks out at you. You know, you got to wear your shades because it's natural light here in Corellia. So there's this very pale-looking figure sitting at the door, and he's like, can I help you?
Yes, Mr. Clean of Mr. Clean's business cleaning service, right?
Yeah, that's me. He looks where the sign should be, but isn't. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I had a hard time tracking you down. I expected there to be a sign, but I think I can help you out there.
Yeah,
Um,
it got stolen. It's not the best neighborhood. You're a customer. You got a place you want clean.
yeah, something like that.
Oh, excellent,
You,
excellent. He opens the door all the way. He's like, "Come on in, come on in. I got plenty of droids. I got the best droids."
yeah, that's what I hear. You don't mind if my associate comes in with me, do you?
No, no, no. Come on in. None of you are
I would
armed.
like to be there too.
Okay, well, if the droid's there, he might look very skeptically at the big ass needle on the medical droid's arm, but beyond that, he'd be okay. None of y'all are armed. He's not. He's not human, so it's not going to bother him that you guys aren't. See, he's got. You get in, and he's got like a cluttered workspace. He's got one of the Dejaric tables as like his dining room table, and it's got like stuff scattered all over it. And he like grabs an armful of it and shoves it in a corner and clears stuff off of the couches next to it that's just been laying all over the couch. And they're all like half assembled cleaning droids. He's probably got 3 or 4 dozen of them within easy eyesight. As soon as you walk through the door, he's blatantly been either cannibalizing them for parts or assembling them.
Nice place, nice place. Okay, I know times are tough here on Corellia, especially for non-Corellian natives. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's actually better here than it was on the Outer Rim. I went through some shenanigans on the Outer Rim you wouldn't believe. But you know, that's in the past. I'm making a pretty good living here. At least it's a good salvage. But you said you had a building you need clean.
that's right. That's right. I know that. So my buddy Rich over there at Blast Tech says that your cleaning bots get in and out of there in about 8 hours, and it took his last team like double that amount of time. I don't know if Rich has told you that, but um, I know that you've got really nice cleaning utility bots, and you know I've got a deal with Rich. Um, this is the thing. It's kind of weird, and I hope that you don't say anything to anybody at Blast Tech, but I'd like to pay you, rent your equipment, just to do a mapping exercise of Blast Tech's building.
He's looking pretty uncomfortable at that. Would you like to roll a charm check?
Sure. And I'm going to put some credits on the table as I'm doing it.
Okay. How many credits?
I'm going to start with 1,000 credits.
Go ahead and upgrade your ability twice. And it's going to be... I don't have a basilisk on the table, so we'll use a Bothan stats. Go ahead and make it a 2 purple.
When you say upgrade,
Turn
I
this...
just added green, right?
No.
Or no, your green turns into a yellow if you have a green. If you don't have a green, then you get a green.
Okay.
So that would make it 3 yellows, I think. Let me check yours. What's your charm?
Yeah, he said 2 upgrades.
Yeah. So you would get 2 yellows and a green, if your sheet is right.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. Clean, you don't have to change your daily activities at all. Go into Blast Tech like you normally do and get the whole building clean, spotless like you usually do. I'll be in and out of your hair in record time.
So you put 1,000 credits on the table or 2,000?
I put 1,000 on the table.
So he's gonna look down at that and like, he looks at your credits so hungrily, and from the state of the way he's living, you can tell that like that's a huge deal for him already. But he kind of looks at you and he's like, "So you need a map of the facility? Is that what we're talking about?"
That's the ultimate goal, yes, sir. But we also would like to get access to the facility. I see that you've got this garbage droid here. I've used one in the past to get somebody into a building, and I would like to do that as well.
I think we might be able to make an arrangement. He goes ahead and palms that 1,000 credit chip like it was never there. And he still looks like, reading his body language, you rolled really well, so he's nervous, but at the same time, like, he can't say no to this, and you can tell that he can't say no to this. And he's decided that if he's in for, in for a credit, in for a kilo, as it were. So he's going to be like, how about I give you the mappings that all of my droids already use. I'll let you have some alone time with my equipment right before I go in next time. And if you're willing to pay for it, I will simply sell you the droid that you need. I'll just borrow it for my purposes that day. And then you just have it. And I go home and I'll build another one.
Sounds like a deal.
Okay. He's going to be like, I think that droid wouldn't cost more than 1,000 credits.
You got some sentimental value on that droid? We're talking about this one right here, right? I point to the garbage droid.
He's like, yeah, it's, that old Bosco has been with me a long time.
What if I can build you the exact same droid?
Oh, there's a Moncal there now, too?
I wasn't sure if I was part of the entourage or not.
Um,
I do. I do kind of like the idea of putting together droids.
I mean, he's metagame. It should be pretty easy to tell. He can build the droid just fine. He's just looking to double his profit on this take. Like, he knows you guys are up to something, doesn't give a shit. He wants to sell you the droid in quotation marks, and he's going to have a proper bill of sale for 1,000 credits so that he can say, that's not my droid. Look, I got a piece of paper. Like, that's what he's looking for. He knows you're going to do something.
Okay. And we would have at least been able to read that, give or take.
Yeah, I mean, the captain would definitely be able to. He's rolled his check. He did well.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. I have to step away for a quick minute. I stayed outside the building, and I'm just kind of watching to make sure no trouble or anything shows up for y'all. But I'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, you're good.
Can I negotiate him down 1,000 credits? It's too much for a garbage droid.
Sure, you can try to negotiate.
250.
250. Good God. Okay, give me 2 reds. Okay, 250.
It's more than fair.
It takes a while, but he's like, all right, yeah, 250. But you're renting it at 250. I want it back.
Oh, so it's your property then. Blastech will be very, very happy to find that out.
He's like, I'm gonna rent it to you. It's a full-blown rental contract.
All right, I pay the 250. So we're gonna do this. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this tomorrow, like the next day, chronologically, but we'll be able to work this out, right? So we can call him. Oh, he said he was gonna give us the maps, right?
Yeah, he's already gonna give you a floor plan. So
right.
Now it's only the places the cleaning droids are allowed to go, but the cleaning droids go a lot of places. So you get basically a full layout, all hundreds or so floors of the building. So you have a floor plan.
Nice. We have floor plan.
Now, do you want to try to smuggle someone in the very next day?
No, I don't think the very next day will be. We haven't come up with an idea yet.
Yeah. Okay, but you do now have a floor plan if you guys want to go back to that.
And so I've got contact information for Mr. Clean, so that the day of the heist we can use him.
Yep, you got comlink information from Mr. Clean. You have a rental agreement that says that, you can go use that droid. And that may come in handy in other ways too, depending on how you play this. Now, the big reason that I wanted you guys to have a floor plan, the 43rd floor is not an actual floor. It's maintenance access, and it's mostly pipes and ventilation and ductwork, designed to carry harmful fumes and stuff away from the labs on the 42nd floor. The next actual floor that you could get to is the 44th floor.
Okay. How about the 41st?
The 41st floor is an office space. It's Cube Farm. Your droids will give you a detailed enough floor plan, because they're droids, to let you know that the ceiling of the 41st floor, and therefore the floor of the 42nd floor, is twice as thick as it needs to be. And that's also how you figure out that the 43rd floor isn't a stop, is because they skip it, but they still have to clean all of the air handling equipment, so the droids still go in there. So you have a map of all that pipe work and ventilation work that goes above the floor.
Okay.
So the 43rd floor doesn't exist?
It's not a valid stop on the elevator. It does exist, but you have to
Okay.
get to it via a maintenance access hatch. Like, you have to go into the stairwell in order to get to it. And it is all air handling equipment, and there's... The cleaning droids wouldn't know what all the equipment does, but there's a ton of electronic equipment in that floor, and there's no living or working spaces there. So it's all machinery. And there's a lot.
That's good. Probably.
Well, so it sounds to me like it's possible that that a droid, or that somebody in an exosuit or an envirosuit, will be able to get on and into the maintenance area in 43. You said it's like super hot and it's got vents and everything like that.
Well, I mean, it's not like... You wouldn't need the environment suit to breathe. When you said environment suit, I thought you were going to try to pull one of those, I'm going to walk through the thermal sensor and get a suit that keeps me cool enough not to be seen kind of deals. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to be comfortable for a human up there, but it is going to be livable. You don't need an environmental suit.
Okay.
But yes, it's 100% a out-of-the-way maintenance area.
Did the maintenance the big trash droid go into the 43rd floor?
Traditionally, it does not, no.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it can't. It just usually doesn't, because there's no trash cans in there.
But they still open those. Did you say there was a thermal sensor on the 43rd floor?
There's some basic security. There's nothing super complex, but there is some basic security.
We could slice that though, right?
You could slice that. There's lots of ways you
Which
can.
means then we would have the ability to cut into the vault from the top.
With a beam drill and a
Right.
lot of time.
Right, but if it's unmanned, then time isn't as big of an issue. If we take care
my
of security,
issue is, yeah, you're going to have to still take care of security on the vault. Because if the security around the vault detects shifts and movements from a beam drill trying to drill into it, I think it might trigger its explosion response or some sort of alarm. So the best thing to do would to be cut power to everything and then start cutting through the ceiling.
or hold on. We need to know about what kind of sensors the vault actually has. If we knew that, then we would know like whether or not that's drilling into it would set those off, and then if it didn't, we would know like entering the room like what will that cause. Because we don't need to go into the part that had the fake glass. We just
don't
need to get to
need
the
to.
computer in the second room.
And we need to get all the baridium out of the second room.
Technically, all we need is the computer.
No.
Oh, we have to get everything out of there?
He very specifically said he wanted the contents of the vault. He wants everything.
How heat sensitive is baridium?
Baridium is like plastic explosive. Under the right circumstances, it's a very big boom, but you could shoot baridium with a gun, and it wouldn't go off.
Okay.
Okay, so just like we got the floor plans, do you want to try to get more information about the vault?
Yeah, that seems like the way to go.
I'd feel better about it, but I'm trying to mull over in my mind how we would go about getting information for a custom designed vault for Blast Tech. Not like the plans would be in the public record house, and not like somebody at Blast Tech would just have them freely and available.
Well, you do have 5-year-old versions of the plan. That is something your employer gave you. So, like, you know the basic layout of the vault. Like, you know it has shield generators, you know it has inertial dampeners. The reason you know the things you know now is partially because he gave you a schematic for the vault. But it is really out of date, is the problem.
Okay.
All right, so here's what I've thought up so far. This is combining like 6 of our plans. So we do the trash guy thing. We sneak in there and start beam drilling through the floor. Okay. We also set off the fire alarm so that when we get through, we have a reason to have a fire truck on the 43rd floor loading it up with all the things that we're stealing. Which means we probably need it. Yeah, which means we probably need an actual fire, which is where Waz comes in, and Randall, for that matter, since the two of them should be able to come up with a very successful explodey thing, and that should help as long as the fire is not on the 43rd floor. That should help with the sensors. If there are sensors in there and we're drilling in, if the fire alarm's already going off, no one's going to be on that floor checking anything out. As long as we slice security correctly.
I mean, it is still going to take hours to cut through the ceiling. It won't take the full 8 hours it would take to cut through the wall. But it's not going to be turn the beam drill on and 15 minutes later you're in. That's the only flaw. Yeah. That's the only flaw with that. But the rest of that's a really good plan.
So what we do is we don't trigger the fire alarm until we've popped the vault, because then we use it as the getaway.
So we're going to need a...
Gonna need a what?
Sorry, I accidentally minimized Discord. So we're going to need to find a place where we can drill in where we won't be bothered for 4 to 5 hours while we initially get in. That's going to be the tricky part.
43rd floor is unmanned.
Oh, it's unmanned?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
It's unmanned. So if we can slice security, it's uncomfortable conditions, but it's unmanned. And if we can slice security, then we would be relatively...
It's uncomfortable conditions for a human. It's hot and dry, and there's a lot of wind and air. And a droid, or, I don't know, a species that's used to living in those kind of conditions, like a Geonosian, might not care.
This is very true. The other thing I was going to ask is, I'm not sure what anybody's planetary piloting is, but we're probably going to want our best pilot driving the getaway fire truck. And I know I'm sitting at 4 green. That's why I was thinking maybe pilot, but I don't know who else has what.
Obviously, the guy who suspect pilot, his skill is better.
Yeah, I was planning on being the slicing crew for this mission.
I wasn't sure if that was space or planetary that he would be better at.
Well, he's got equal on both on the sheet. Actually, you can totally do that, Randall. However, your character as a Moncal will be the most uncomfortable in this environment.
Oh yeah. I need my water and my cool.
Yeah, it's really hot, dry air that's being moved by lots of large air handling equipment. Basically, it's constantly windy and hot.
So we make this. just to be on the same
So
page.
the
we
Geonosian's
make
the one who sits up there.
or a droid, yeah. But we've got this is going to be a multi-day thing. So day 1, we send in the Geonosian with the beam drill and start cutting. And day 2, when the mice droid guy shows up, Mr. Clean shows up again, we can send Waz or the slicer in.
Well, let's see that.
and start
question.
this whole-
Yeah, I think Maul's about to bring it up.
Question: if we take me into tiny pieces,
Nope, that's
can we
not-
fit me and the Geonosian in the trash compactor?
I don't think so.
No, it's one size one creature. He could take.
I don't even think we're gonna.
He could take just your head. Now,
Yeah.
with that said, what I was going to say is, just because the security's lighter on the maintenance area doesn't mean it's not existent. The first person in there has to be able to defeat security.
Right.
First,
So you can't
Person.
you can't send the Geonosian in first. I mean, you could, but he'll probably get caught.
Beam drill everybody. Stay away.
you said first person, right?
You put that past me.
I do like the idea of having the droid in there for a couple days, since he's going to be fine for the most part.
I vote me go in first. I'll bust through some locks.
And you take out the security thing?
Yeah, I got a slicing gear. I got a slicing computer ability ish.
All right. And then, okay, question. From that floor, can he get to the other floors?
I'm gonna walk through a whole bunch of vents.
Okay,
See where they
okay,
take
okay.
me.
So we literally just plan this as like a week-long heist where every day one of us goes in and just sets up camp.
Oh, what kind of air traffic is there around the 43rd floor? Like, could somebody just, if I opened a door on the 43rd floor, could you just come in? We don't have to keep going back to Mr. Clean and sneak in.
There is air traffic in that there are speeders that go to and from at relatively high speed. If something were to stop outside of the building, that would most likely trigger proximity security. It's not impossible, but it is risking detection.
So if somebody were to drive a speeder by and a flying creature were to then fly off said speeder into an open door,
That's your optimal chance of success.
Question. What about window washers?
I'm assuming they use droids for that, so I'm going to say they use droids for that.
Mr. Clean doesn't do that shit?
Mr. Clean does not have droids to do that at this moment. Someone else has that contract.
But he's going to take my 1,000 credits and probably get a flying droid, so that he can start bidding those contracts. Because that's
Right.
what entrepreneurs do.
I mean, if you were to walk by and say, I have another 1,000 credits, would you like to do all that? I'm sure he would.
Yeah, but government contracts usually are up after like a couple years. He's not going to be able to bid on this thing. This is going to become a huge waste of time.
You're like, that's 1,000 credits. I'll keep that. We can figure this out.
Yeah,
Yeah, that contract, it might be up in a couple years.
might be up in a couple of years. What's the normal? Yeah, it's like 3 to 5, right?
He will have that small business advantage, and he's a minority. He's got this.
3 to 50 is actually government contract time.
3 to 50. No wonder we're so fucked up.
Yeah, that's a realistic answer for you too there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whatever. I thought support contracts were typically like 1 to 2 years, but
Yeah, like
That's
That's
for
how our
Yeah,
contract is.
personnel. A personnel contract to have a person come and support is only for a couple of years. To have a small business or company can be up to 55 years.
Good to know.
yeah, maybe I should start a company.
You're neither a minority. Don't think you're veteran, although I don't know that.
I am a veteran, haha.
Oh,
also-
well, that's
But whatever.
yeah. If you're female, minority,
half
or
the
veteran,
process.
yeah, that's like major. So what you want to do is go get a sex change. I'm pretty sure.
that covers
being,
2 of your bases right there.
yeah, yeah, and then what was the other one? Minority. That
Well,
one's going to be tougher.
Well, you
Marry
guys,
someone in a
disabled.
minority and make it a co-business.
Well,
Then you
I'll
cover
hit you.
it.
I can hit
guys
you
are
with
talking
a
this,
car.
I'm gonna hit up the head.
That's disabled. That's not minority.
Yeah, but it's still, you're checking all the boxes, right? If you're gonna go all out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna also hit the head.
And at that point, shouldn't you just turn gay and that's how you get your minority race?
If you had a click change, then I feel like you're already.
No. You got that. Those two are not the same thing, Jeremy. It's very bigoted of you to say it that way.
No, you don't go gay. You go for the supercard and you go the non-binary route for your interests, and then you just cover everything.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I am a piece of toast.
I'm a helicopter.
All right, so
How
back to
quickly
this.
conversations devolve.
Yeah, I like that we're streaming too, and all of this is out there.
Oh yeah. We've
Um,
destroyed all of our social reputations.
So I like the idea of making this a multi-day affair, and we send in Waz. What we need to figure out is if the garbage droid can actually fit Waz and a beam drill at the same time. And then Waz, can you use a beam drill?
He doesn't have to. We don't have to start drilling on day one. We can
True.
literally set this whole plan up, and then once we all get up there, minus you, because I think you're going to be piloting the
Getaway car.
which is hopefully a fire truck, or at least
Maybe.
looks like one.
Maybe. I mean, at this point, we're just going to paint something red.
Well, just a thought. Do we actually need to get everybody in? Or do we just need to get a couple of people in so we can drill in, trigger the fire, and then just open a door and everybody else pour in through the fire truck to get everything?
I am inclined to say we want as many people in there as we can. In case things go south, we have more options available to fix it. Also, we want Randall and Waz on other floors starting fires and explosions to A, clear out the building, and B, cause a state of emergency where they will not be quite so worried if we break into their vault.
If you're starting immediately and doing this week long and starting people one at a time, there's another thing you might want to take into consideration.
Food?
Actually, two things now that you say food. You're saying, oh, we're going to do the pickup using this, fire truck. You guys don't actually have that fire truck yet, and when you do, someone's going to have to work on it. So you only have one mechanic, realistically. He's going to have to build this thing while you guys are being inserted if you want to do it during the same week.
Okay. So we have him and the captain do that. And then the three of us break in and start the plan. Waz sets fire paste at every location in the building that's not our floor or the floor we're trying to work on. Actually,
without being seen.
Yeah, without being seen. Actually, if he could put fire on the 42nd floor, as long as it's not in the vault, we're good.
It's true.
Probably, as long as he doesn't set off any baridium outside the vault that sets off the baridium that's in the vault, we're still good.
I mean, it is also worth noting that depending on what type of cutting you use, it's just because you can shoot it and it won't go off doesn't mean that you can't set it off. Also, it's not the only thing that's in there. He said he wanted everything in there. You guys just know about the baridium because of a lucky HoloNet search.
Here, This is what we do. We send Waz in. He actually goes to the cube farm on 41 and takes a man's stapler away. Then that man catches the whole building on fire.
Does that man still work on the 41st floor, or has he been moved to storage room F?
He'll be in the basement by the time it happens.
Right now.
Yeah, he'll be in the basement by the time it happens.
So we're gonna make sure it's the red stapler. Right?
Are we also going to have a printer destroying montage?
Of course.
And will one of us be cleaning fish on the company time and desk?
Oh yes, obviously.
I love that movie.
All right. So I like the multi-day thing. I think we need to work out details here.
Need a fire truck.
We do need to source that fire truck. We know where it is. We haven't bought it yet. Let me go ahead and make some calls and see how much this is going to cost me. So I'm going to call up the junkyard.
It wasn't a junkyard you guys sourced it at. You guys sourced
Hey, it
at,
was a firestorm.
yeah, it's a specialist. Like they do the parade fire trucks and they restore them for customers and stuff, and they have a couple of spares.
Okay, yeah, I'll call them up.
Okay. What is going to be your pitch? They're going to be like, hey, it's we're going to go with Firestorm. It's Firestorm custom firefighting gear and other parade vehicles. What can we do for you today?
Hey, boss, my kid's turning 8, and he loves fire trucks. All right. So I'm really hoping.
I feel like you called the other day.
I might have. Yeah, I think. Yeah, this is Firestorm, right? I did call the other day. I was wondering if you guys had the X83 because he's in love with that model. But you were a droid.
Yes.
Okay, so I had my droid call the other day.
So we have the AI-23. We don't have the X-83. But you know the AI-23 was like the predecessor. It's got a real classic retro look to it. We've only got it in yellow, and it doesn't actually fly right now. But we got a good deal on it if you want it.
I don't think it really needs to fly. He just wants to sit in it for a little while. But do you have it on rental, or I'm gonna have to buy it outright?
We're actually looking to get rid of it, so we really want to sell it.
All right. Well, how about this? Because I run a body shop. If I buy your AI-23 and then fix it up a little bit, will you guys be willing to buy it back after I'm done?
I mean, if it's operational, yeah. It depends on how much of a markup you got for it. One of the reasons we're looking to get rid of it is, the parts are really hard to find. So just going to warn you about that ahead of time. That could be an issue if you want it to actually run. That carbonite ray that it uses is, like, the parts of it are so finicky, and, our mechanic drove himself nuts trying to get this thing installed.
I gotcha. What else do you have besides that 23? You have anything that flies?
I don't have. Well, we do have things that fly, but for what you're looking to do with it, I don't think you're going to want to pay. Well, I mean, it's going to be 10,000 for starters for the stuff that flies, and it sounds like you just want something for your kid to sit in. I mean, you're probably not looking to spend that much money. But I got another one. Hold on, just let me check the inventory real quick. He does some typing. I got a HD 3000. It's the short bus version, so it's a 6-person model, mainly used for putting out small, like, garbage fires. That one also does not have a working carbonite ray. Those things are a bitch. I can let that go for 2K. It doesn't fly. But if you want to fix that one up, you'd probably be easier finding parts for that.
You keep saying carbonite ray. I'm looking at.
That's a standard. So fire foam and carbonite rays are the standard firefighting gear in the Star Wars universe.
But the carbonite ray is not what makes it fly, right?
Oh no, that's what puts a fire out.
That's what puts the fire out. It also It also works really well metagame on people.
It freezes them.
Gotcha.
I wanna shoot the organics with it.
I bet you do.
It's non-lethal.
Until they get hit by something.
That's not. I didn't hit them, so it doesn't count.
All right,
Just like
2K, man. For
It's
this.
Tax's job. It's fine.
So, but he's
Right.
going to go ahead and tell you, he's like, the HD 3000, I'll buy that back if you want. If you get it flying, even if you can't fix it all the way up, he's like, I'll buy it back for 5K because I have a customer who's actually interested in it. I just don't have the time to fix it. So that may be your best bet.
Yeah, that sounds like it's right up our alley, and I'm gonna go ahead and give him the 2. Well, I'll. So I'm over on the phone with him. I'm gonna say, hey, you got time later on? I'll come by and pick it up.
He's like, yeah, sure. And he gives you an address to swing by.
Sweet. I'll bring my mechanic by, and we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Randall,
Lock and load.
you know anything about HD 3000?
I know some things. How
All
much
right,
would I guess metagame. How much would I actually know?
You would
It's
look
a
at a
garbage
picture
truck.
of it. You'd look at a picture of it and be like, "It's a fire truck," but you wouldn't know the first thing about Like, this is not what you do. You know a little bit, like, your shade tree mechanic level of speeder and starship pilot. It's not really what you do.
Yeah.
But you think you could figure it out. You went with the easier model, so you could probably figure it out. But what do you know about it? Not much.
Okay. I'd be like, yeah, it's just a planetary thing. I should be able to figure it out. It's not too hard.
All right, come on down with me. We're going to fire.
It's not like this thing needs to be planetary.
We just need it to. I mean, it only holds 6 people. I don't know how much shit is going to be in that vault, but that might be a problem.
Yeah,
Maybe we can outfit this thing with like some storage compartments. You know, like we don't need fucking ladders and hoses and shit.
Okay. You guys take a taxi, I'm assuming. You take Space Uber. And
Yeah. We'll Uber over there.
They drop you off at the yard.
Hey, are you clack?
Yeah, the guy doing the sale. Give him a name real quick. His name is Arden, and he is a used car salesman. Think Bruce Campbell from Burn Notice.
Nice.
Yeah, like little stumpy cigar in his mouth, big old smile. It's like I've got the rig for you. You're gonna love this chassis.
I don't want the undercoat.
What can I do to get you in this car?
Yeah,
He slaps the roof. You can
Yep.
fit so many fires in this thing.
right.
I'm not paying for your undercoating.
It would be really great if he slapped it and the carbonite ray went off, like just a sputter and just froze his hand.
No, I mean it's like hovering, and he slaps it, and as he's slapping the hood, the whole thing bounces down like it's just a balloon.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. So, Arden, you mind talking to me about money here? And I'm going to have my mechanic take a look at this thing, pop the hood a little bit, and...
It's like,
take a
yeah.
once
I mean, it's in great shape, and if you're gonna, fix it up and sell it back, I mean, you're gonna make the money. So I'll buy it back from you if you can get it in good working shape. It doesn't really run right now. I know it's floating. It's got real solid repulsor technology. You just can't quit. But it doesn't have flight controls or maneuvering thrusters or primary fuel cells or secondary fuel cells or any of the cruise systems, or the carbonite ray doesn't work. The ejection system's been used. It's got a few dents and dings, and it's not airtight. But it's in great shape. It's fantastic.
I mean, you just listed like 7 things that's broken with this: the flight controls,
Yeah, but
thrusters.
those are all features. I mean, you're a collector. Think of how much fun it's going to be to fix all that.
I'm not a collector. This is what I told you is I have an 8-year-old that wants to live out a fantasy as a firefighter.
Yeah, it's going
I
to be
thought
awesome.
we'd be able to work something out. What was that list again? Flight controls, thrusters.
Metagame, I can't even remember. I just started listing everything that came to mind.
God damn, man. You say you'll buy it back for $5,000. I'm gonna be like 15 into it before it's all said and done.
Nah, man. You could buy a new one for $10K.
It's at least red, right?
Nah, it's yellow.
Oh my god. What's the current firefighter truck model?
Most of them are red. Yellow's not unheard of, but it's not normal.
Okay.
I've got blue paint. I've been using it to supplement our stim stick shortage.
We need to spray paint this thing. Rattle can it if we have to. We don't want to stick out like a sore thumb as the only firefighter truck that shows up that is not matching all the other ones.
Just so you know, as you guys are having this conversation, Mr. Arden has not left your side. He's got his arm around your shoulders, Ghost. He's like, you don't understand. You can make it red. You don't need to rattle can it. Yellow is very, very stylish. Like, he's all up in your business as you're trying to do this.
Yeah, look, Arden. I'm gonna go talk to my mechanic real quick. I'll be right back.
I can tell you all about him. Why don't We can chat. I got the keys if you want to try to give it a whirl. I mean, it'll go nowhere, but your kid's just going to sit in it, right?
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
thing is that I got to get it back to the house, and just hold on one second. I'm going to talk to the mechanic.
Mr. Arden, do you have red paint?
I do, and I have a great sale on red paint.
Describe this sale to me, please.
Just a 15 credits per pint.
How many pints would it take to coat this vehicle?
No more than 20 or 30.
He's full of shit.
What if we worked out a deal? We buy this from you, and you give us the paint.
From your blood.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take that into account. It's going to be like, we're going to do 2,000. We can do 2,200. You know, that'll work out.
21.
Sold.
All right, Captain, I got free paint.
You also just bought this vehicle. And because you've been filling out the paperwork, you have the company card. So now you can have the interaction with the captain. We explain that you just bought this thing.
You will paint this for us before we pick it up. Thank you, Mr. Arden.
Oh, he's going to rattle can the shit out of this thing.
Is this an object, or would you be able to send me the texture for it?
I don't know. Let me look real quick.
It's a custom art. You have to unpack it.
Yeah, you would have to unpack it. I can send you the link, though, if you want. I'll just post it in the Discord so anyone who wants to try to grab it.
Let's give it a shot.
So did we pay for the undercoating or not?
You did.
Damn it.
You got a deal on it, too.
God damn it! Why the fuck are we paying for the undercoating?
But you don't have to do it like that there, Craven. I can just lock this, and then you can literally draw on it if you want. Oh, it's not working. It makes me sad.
I found Mr. Arden, and I landed on him. The bottom is now red. It has a blood undercoating.
Look, you can't kill Bruce Campbell.
It's fair. I wouldn't want to. I like Bruce Campbell.
He's my hero.
One of the greatest actors of our time.
Have you heard that Psycho Stick song about him?
Yes.
Okay.
This man's a hero. How do I open this object?
It has to be unpacked. I think you need a Unity toolkit to
Yeah,
open
you
it.
need the Unity toolkit to unpack it.
I think. It might open with other things like Blender, though. I don't know. I bet Kizik knows how to do it.
Yeah, Kizik's too tired to be doing that.
Yeah, I ain't fucking with it anymore.
Yes.
Kizik's ready to get into a vent. No more
Blender
questions.
Blender started and then crashed.
Womp womp.
Ooh, also, Randall, can you make me like 6 to 8 like small IEDs that just make fire, please?
What sort of materials do we have at all?
If you have regular tape from a toolkit and fire paste, I'll allow you to make basically duct tape with fire paste in it, where you rip the duct tape off and it detonates.
You need it on a timer, though, don't we?
You'll need timers then. So,
All right. Well, we also need ion guns, slicer gear, beam drill. So, why don't we make a shopping trip?
sounds like a good idea.
Ooh, did I smuggle my slicer gear? That's just a standard. No, that's data pad, right? Or does that have to stay on the ship?
They didn't look close enough to find it, so it's not listed as something that's restricted, even though it really is. But it's more the kind of thing that like the use of it is illegal more than the owning it is illegal. Like you can get Kali Linux on any laptop. It's how you use it that makes it whether or not it's legal. Let me start putting together some of your equipment and such. So if you want to do a check for the improvised explosives there, Randall.
Yep.
It's going to be a 1 purple mechanics check per item, where you can do them all for 1 red.
Do we find the timers first?
Hold on, let me get to it. It's going to require 1 piece of fire paste and 25 credits for each version that is a timer version.
All right. You said 1 red for all of them.
Yep.
All right.
You
Let's see
can
how
do it. Have
horribly
faith.
I can roll this.
Nah, have faith. You can do it, man.
Oh, what do you know? Apparently, I found everything.
Okay. You managed to salvage enough stuff that you don't need the 25 credits of the charge. You just make them.
Yes.
6.
6 is fine.
So much fire paste. I feel so bad.
Someone's
You
gonna
have to
be so
describe
happy.
me. What's going to happen when I pull this tab?
When you pull that tab, it'll be a
Oh, hopefully nothing, because you put a timer on them.
yes. The timer is a 5-minute timer.
5 minutes.
I forgot the beam drill was a melee weapon. That took me forever to find. So, now that you've acquired a beam drill, assuming that you want to pay for that,
Yeah.
you
That
guys,
is the best thing to use, right?
yeah, you guys have figured out that well, yes, it's the best thing to use that you have access to. Let's put it that way.
A lightsaber would be slightly better, right?
Slightly better, as in significantly better. Yes.
And-
So this thing will probably burn through. Like if you just turned it on and stuck it on there and only wanted to make a hole as big as the beam, it'd probably burn through in about an hour and a half or so. If you want to make a human size hole, which I'm assuming you do, you're looking at 2.5 to 3 hours.
Okay. How much are they?
3,000.
I can only afford 1.
You only need 1, so that's convenient.
Well, if I could have had 2, I'd knock that down from 3 hours to 1.5, right?
Oh, yeah, you could have done that, yeah. See, this is stuff the party thinks of that I didn't, and if you'd had the money to do it, I would be like, Alright, so you needed that. You needed your fire paste sorted, which we've got. You said you needed something else?
Slicer gear. And
Mhm.
ion guns.
I thought we have slicer gear.
I,
Yeah, because Kizik has some slicer gear.
he
Yeah,
does, but we have another slicer in the party, right, that doesn't have any gear?
I do not have any slicer gear. I have data spikes.
Oh, that's the other thing. Can we go ahead and get, what are the collars for droids? I'm trying to remember what they're fucking called.
Straining bolts?
Restraining bolts.
Sure, if you want some. How many do you want?
Let's do 3.
Are you guys going to try to acquire any weapons that aren't ion? You could get some really cheap weapons. Like,
I mean, if there is a legal heavy weapon that I could have, I would be interested.
that's going to be more expensive. But because I was thinking like slug throwers, you can spend like 200 credits and get yourself a 5-er pistol, or you can pick up for 150 like an ASP-9. Just saying, ion guns don't work on organics, so you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah. I'm the getaway driver. I shouldn't be shooting at anything. However, whatever you guys feel to be prepared.
I'm not very good with shooting anyway, so I'm just going to punch it.
Right on.
So do we actually need these ion guns?
I thought the other people could use them.
Yeah, that's why I...
Because we saw a lot of droids, and I thought somebody should have one.
I would like at least one ion and one other gun, preferably of the heavy variety, but I will use light variety.
You're not going to pick up a heavy weapon, a ranged heavy weapon, for less than like 1,000 credits. That's going to be your main problem. Is that those weapons are straight up military grade, and pistols are much cheaper.
It's like trying to buy an AR-15 in Washington D.C.
Yeah, I think somebody will have to check my card, but I think I do still have over 1,000.
Says you have 600.
Are there ion gauntlets?
Not at the moment, but you could try to build some.
Really?
Yeah.
How do I do that?
You find an outlaw tech who's willing to tinker with some stuff. You bring him basic supplies, and then you pay him for his services.
Yes.
All right.
I don't know of any outlaw techs in the party.
So, question: would you start with shock gloves?
Yeah, you could start with shot gloves.
All right. How much is a pair of those?
I'm in the middle of looking at 4 other things right now. You're just going to have to get in line. I'll get to you in a
That's
second
fine.
with that. If you want to, you can just look them up in the generator, and
I will do that.
if that's all you need is how much they are. The ion guns are giving me a coronary because I deleted my only version of the ion gun card that I had. So, yeah, that's why I was asking if this is really important to you guys, because it's actually really holding us up right now. Never mind, I just found it. Luckily, I made a backup.
Wait, is Dr. Payne trying to wear ion gloves as a droid?
That's what he said.
He is trying to die.
You wear fire. you wear fire gloves as a person who burns. How many ion pistols did you want? They're 280 credits a pop.
I think 2 would be fine.
Okay.
Waz, you don't want one?
Not at all, no. I don't like weapons.
Oh, just so you know, I discovered something about the burn quality that's really important. The burn quality, the number next to burn, isn't the extra damage it does. It's the number of rounds that it does the full base weapon damage. So, for the purposes of your Cortosis gauntlets doing burn damage, they do 4 burn damage for 2 turns after you hit someone. So they're a dot. They're damage over time. But if you want to write that down in like the description of your gauntlets, while I'm digging the rest of this stuff up.
Shot gloves are 300.
Okay.
And I will drop those off with Randall and tell him what I'm looking for. And I have taken 300 off my sheet.
Before you take 300 off your sheet, Zach, do you have the generator open? We went over you building items before, right?
We've at least talked about it.
See if you can
I do have...
build him a melee weapon. And see if you can...
Brawl.
Sorry.
Brawl and melee weapon?
A brawl, yeah. I think those are the same category for crafting, but if not, make it brawl.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
Get as close to shot gloves as you can, and go ahead and roll all the checks, and do what you can for it, and let me know how it turns out. And then I will produce an item for you. And then you can tell him how much you want to charge for it, because it's going to tell you how much it costs you to make it, and then you can obviously build in a small profit if you want.
Yeah. Alright. Let me see. Alright, brawl and melee. Powered melee, vibro weapon.
Am I missing any obvious things that you guys need? I think I'm just about done.
We're probably missing obvious things we need.
Yeah.
Did you give us a pistol that is of the non-ion variety? I want at least one gun that was not ion-based.
Okay. That's a good idea. We want the cheapest thing you can lay your hands on, I'm assuming?
Cheap but reliable.
Pick one. Actually, this isn't that bad. Okay, you got one auto pistol. It's a slug thrower. It is a auto slug thrower. It's got auto fire.
Actually, would one of the light pistols I have in my locker that is a freaking holdout pistol be able to be used? Because if that's the case, I wouldn't need that one.
You couldn't get it past security unless you wanted to try to smuggle it.
Never mind.
He's,
150 credits to get back to the big ship, 150 credits to get back down.
yeah, I mean, the whole point of buying these weapons on the planet, which is why I asked about if you want the cheapest thing possible, is I'm assuming you're just throwing away this stuff when you're done.
Leave it in a hidden compartment inside the floater that we sell back.
Some 8-year-old really does get in it and finds an auto pistol and goes to town thinking it's a toy gun.
At a birthday party, just mows down his friends and family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I love
And that's
it.
where
It's
we're going to
fantastic.
leave the fire truck. We're going to leave the fire truck at some kid's birthday party.
I'm a fireman, Dad. I made you all red. Ha ha ha. I may just take the shot gloves as they are.
If we are taking things through the roof, can we, like, how heavy is Beridium? Looking at you, Randall.
I mean, it's
Oh, yeah, you need like a hoist system.
depends on how much of it there is.
Yeah, we have no idea. So we need to be prepared for that.
You also have someone who can fly up and down that actually has a pretty decent carry capacity if he's not carrying a lot of stuff.
So, I'm assuming Zach's working on those shot gloves right now. So,
Yeah, so I'm making a set of like ion cuffs.
close enough.
Okay, yeah. The best thing I have here is a fist weapon.
I mean, they are fist weapons. That's what they are.
Yep, that's it.
I guess I should roll to see if I have any how many advantaged or triumphs.
Yes,
made.
yep, that's what you need to do. So it'll tell you the difficulty on the right-hand side, and then you just roll that over here against your mechanics check. And then you spend your triumphs, and if it has like a adding stun quality or adding ion quality is ideal. Then you would add those to it. Get me as close as you can to it. And I'm not going to use your actual stats. Ooh, you got a triumph. Oh, you got 3 threats though. You got to spend those threats.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
All right.
But go
Give
ahead.
it the stun quality.
Go ahead and plug all those in.
All right.
And then,
Triumph. Yep, Triumph is a stun quality. All right. That's what you guys really want, the stun quality.
well, he really wants ion, but we're going to count it as you converting it from stun to ion.
All right, and then I have 3 threats to spend.
Oh my goodness, I wish I would have rolled this.
If you have mechanical abilities, someone has to be working on infiltrating this thing. I think you guys are just about ready to go, and we have almost 2 hours left. So I think it's
Somebody
potentially-
needs to be fixing up the fire truck.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to get Zach through his crafting thing, because he's probably the one that should be doing that.
Okay, so we're looking at going for another 2 hours.
Yeah, we go 8 to midnight every night. Or not every night, every other Saturday.
For some reason, I thought it was only 3 hours, not 4.
So you're pretty close to being ready.
All right.
I still think we need to work out exactly what the steps are here.
That's a great idea. You should definitely do that.
As I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this right. So we're just calling these the ion cuffs.
Yeah, I'm not actually going to use the thing you're making. I just needed it for things like the threats. Like I need to know when you make the card at the end, when you scroll down, it'll say that the negative qualities you had. I need you to copy those onto this card. And then if you added extra, like whatever stun or ion quality you gave it, I need to know that. We're just going to turn this shot glove card into what he wants.
Okay.
So how much did it cost? What'd you spend your threats on?
My threats are making it difficult to repair. So
Yeah,
increased
sure.
difficulty of checks to repair this weapon by 1.
Mhm.
And that was all 3 of the threats.
All right. So copy that description. Right click on these X21 shot gloves and drop that into the description of those gloves.
Um, oh, yeah, these gloves here.
Can I ask a question about Blast Tech as a company?
Yep.
Does this facility have weekends? Like the employees are less likely to be there?
Sure does.
Is it Thursday, Friday, like, or, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, well, the equivalent of it, yeah. What level of stun did it get? Was it better than 3?
No, it's just stun 1.
Okay, how much damage
Or-
does it do?
Damage 2.
Oh, okay, so it's basically the same. So instead of stun, it does. So it's ion 3 is what this is.
Do we? I guess one other thing. I guess I could have also used lethal, which reduces the critical by 1.
No, I wouldn't worry about that.
You just want the stun quality.
Yeah.
So it's stun 1, yeah. That's all. Yeah, stun 1. It would have taken a lot more advantage and or triumphs to get more stun.
Do you actually want stun, Craven? You just want ion.
I just wanted it to work on droids.
Oh, it definitely works on droids.
Okay.
I guess there's also an ensnare quality that I could have had.
No, you're good. You've now crafted it. Now you can start working on the vehicle.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna go through your steps. I'm trying to get you a status board so you can write on things.
Oh, I've got it. Yeah, I've got it written out in front of me. I'm on number 1 right now, which is we're gonna tap Mr. Clean to take Waz in, and I'm thinking on a Friday, and Waz is gonna set up a slicing into the network and try to take control of security before anything else, right?
I'm going to take control of security on the 43rd floor.
So take 43rd floor. It's first step.
Excuse me.
Does Mr. Clean come back like every day? I don't know if we ever established that.
During work days, so he's Monday through Friday.
Yes, I think put me in on like a Wednesday so that by Friday we're ready to go.
Yeah. Okay.
Feel free to draw or write on this thing all you want. We'll...
Yeah, so we should have everybody in by Friday and then probably do this on a Saturday.
Or Sunday, yeah.
You got any national holidays coming up?
3-day weekends.
Try to get a 3-day weekend.
Wouldn't they be Imperial holidays?
Sure.
Yes and no. So technically,
There'd be a Corellian one.
yeah, there'd be Corellian ones, but technically you are still under Imperial rule. But Corellia has always been strongly independent. And
So there's no like Palpatine Day or
there is. It's just your average Corellian citizen doesn't give a fuck. But they will celebrate the Corellian holidays, so they're still holidays.
We still need to fix up the fire truck.
Yep.
it is painted now though.
That's good.
Only cost you $100, so you're welcome.
Okay, so who wants to go in after Waz?
I do.
Are we doing the window drop for the Geonosian, or are we sending him through the gunk droid as well?
The Geonosian could try to get in through the window. I think that would be a good yeah, we should try that. We always can use the gunk droid as a backup, but I think it's important that we do get an external way in and out as well. Because as long as we establish that, because that's going to be our exit route to load up the fire truck and get out of there. So we should get that done. So instead of going through the gunk droid, we should try to come in through a window.
All right, so day 1 happens. Waz, you are now going to be sneaking into the facility. So you're the first one in, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to move. So we're done shopping. We're in the actual execution phase now, right?
I think we're in the talking it through phase, but if you want
Yeah.
to jump right ahead, we're
We were still trying to come up with a plan. We hadn't finished everything out yet.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, how much?
Okay.
So I think day 1 is get him in. Day 2 is when you slice so we can get a window open. You've gotten control of security on day 1/day 2, and we send the droid in through the gunk. And we should be able to get, if we're successful, the Geonosian in through a window. I think that's day 2. Day 3 is setup of all of equipment, rigging the place. And day 4 is heist.
Yep, that's what I got.
And the entire time that this is happening, the mechanic will be doing the maintenance on the things so that we can get that ready to go. So he has 3 days to get it all up and running from what I'm tracking. Is that enough time?
I don't know if it is going to be enough time. We never even established like how badly fucked up the fire truck is.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a 1 purple to evaluate it there, Randall.
1 purple mechanics.
Because you've already looked it over once when you guys were buying it.
Yeah. What the fuck?
So it's going to take 3 days for him to do everything, assuming that nothing comes up. Like, assuming he passes every check, it's going to take 3 days. It's going to take 3 checks for him to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
now,
need to
regardless
get,
of the role, I say that this is far beneath me. This is not explosive metallurgy. It's beneath my abilities, but whatever.
that's
I
why
wonder
it's
if
going to
Mr.
take 3
Clean-
days.
Yeah, it's because it's beneath my ability.
Mr. Clean's already in on this. We could cut him completely in on the deal so that he actually has enough to get out of here when it's done.
Offer him a
Please.
job on the ship.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, he's obviously good at putting shit together. Why don't we hire him on full time?
Ooh, he's a droid tech. I'm in.
I mean, having somebody who could literally build droids from missions and stuff for us wouldn't necessarily be bad.
I like
I
that idea.
outlined our plan here, Captain.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get over there. Get in, Waz. Slice security. Get fly box in. Get.
That's a
paint.
Y. That's a Y.
Flyboy. Okay, sorry. Flyboy in. Get paint in. Complete prep. Do it.
Aye.
All right. That's
We have a
that's
whiteboard now.
detailed.
I've written all this on it.
Okay.
You
So
can
you're
tell where
good
the
at
plan
paperwork.
starts to get less and less detailed.
After step 1.
I mean, step 2 is rather cut and dry. Like, that's what we're doing, is we're slicing security and getting someone in. Step 3 is the setup part, which is also the slash. If we weren't able to get Flyboy in, that's when he gets in.
True.
The problem is that we've got to. This all hinges on having the fire truck being able to fly, because I can't get the Geonosian through the window without
so-
some flying vehicle.
But that's okay. So as long as they bring food, because I'm good.
I mean, I can jump out of a taxi for all I care.
Yeah, not just that. So we can be in there and ready to go. If you're not ready to go, we don't start until you are ready to go.
All right, we can do
We
that.
have these things called comm units, Captain, and you can communicate issues like that with us in the field.
I get you. I didn't want everything to linchpin on 1 or 3 checks that could go terribly wrong.
And you think that it's just those 3 checks that are going to go horribly wrong at some point tonight?
I don't want it to happen so early on in the heist.
Oh, it's gonna.
So you're saying we're gonna hold off until I can finish these 3 checks or attempt?
No. Plan goes as plan goes. Pressure, Randall. Pressure's good for you.
Pressure's good for you.
Can I
I
drug
wanted to
Randall up
see-
so he's a better mechanic?
No, I think I can hire Mr. Clean. Let me just ask. The worst thing he can say is no, and then we can go on with this plan as planned.
Can I
But-
drug? Can I drug Randall up so he's a better mechanic?
Don't we also have an astromech that helps with maintenance and stuff like that that might be able to help?
I'm sure he could help, yes.
I think he might be the only thing on our giant ship in space right now.
Yeah, he's the only one cruising up there right now.
He's got 2 loader droids, this company, and they've been modified
Oh.
for security.
Oh yeah, they have.
So I'm gonna hit Mr. Clean up on the comm. And
I say, don't make the pitch over comms.
oh yeah, no. I'm gonna ask him to meet up with me for a drink, maybe.
Wait,
I
wait,
want to
wait,
offer
hold
him a job.
Can I be your secretary? So I call him up and say that we're interested in purchasing his skill set and set up a meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like this is a trap of some sort.
It's not. I just wanted to be a secretary. What's wrong with wanting to be a secretary?
I'm
God, you
gonna wait
guys
till
just
it's obvious
always
it's a
think
trap.
I'm up to something.
You're always up to
Because you
something.
usually are.
You've
I'm not.
met
I
you,
wasn't up
right?
to anything. I like the idea of being the captain's bitch, while also making him hurt every time he needs help.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that does sound about on par for the way he's been playing Painbot.
It sounds like marriage to me.
Yeah, I really want to hire Mr. Clean to reprogram PaintBot, but
Good luck with that.
All
I
right,
just want you
so,
guys to know if my programming gets messed with, you're all fucked.
Yeah, I got a good guess about that. I think I know what's gonna happen. Just gonna go homicidal.
Yeah, I'm a serial killing death machine.
With
So
an
does
off switch.
does Mr. Clean want to meet up for like I don't know, gyros or something?
My ties.
Sure. Absolutely does that.
Sweet. So here's the deal. I'm the captain of a ship, and we are about to leave Corellia for good. But I saw what you did with your droids in there, and I want to offer you a position on my ship if you're interested, or if you know anybody else that would be interested. But I am in desperate need of a mechanic, and I just bought this fire truck, and I need it to fly in like less than 3 days. So I'm really looking for a mechanic, and I'm hoping that you're willing and able to come with us.
Let's see how cunning this guy is now that he has stats. What's your negotiate? No.
Yellow, a
Bet-
green, and a blue.
Better yet, you just roll a 2 red negotiate.
Can I be sitting in the table behind this guy? Just sitting there.
He's already seen you, so if you try to
That's
come in
fine.
here,
That's fine. But I am going to be. I'm pretending to be stealthy. I understand that it didn't work.
okay. This may be 3 reds. We'll see. You go ahead and roll that.
Oof.
All right. All that means is that he completely sees through your thing. Like, he knows that you're telling the truth about needing anything, but he also knows, he's like, okay, so you're blatantly pulling off some sort of thing at Blast Tech, and you're planning on leaving the planet, and you just found out that someone on your team can't do that thing that you need. So he's going to be like, I got 2 straight up questions for you. Are you serious about the job on the ship? Is number 1. Or do you just think that you need to offer me that job in order to get me to help you?
I'm serious about the job on the ship.
It's like, okay, all right. Question number 2. Assuming that you're doing some sort of job that you're getting paid for, do I get a cut of this job?
Yes, and I mean that's part of being on the crew of the Proto Shadow. Everybody gets a cut. Your cut would be like everybody else's cut, and it's on the bottom end. It's a cut of what is it? We're 6.
$1,200 a week is what you offered us. Randall got $600 a week. because he has the best credentials of all of us, and somehow he got the least.
Right. So how does 800 credits a week sound?
He's still paying him more than Randall.
Okay, so you're gonna need to roll a 2 purple negotiate. If you pass, he says yes. If you fail, then for every failure, he wants another 100 credits a week.
Oof.
Okay, he takes it. He's like, you've got yourself a droid mechanic. I'm here. I can. He's like, do you need the actual cleaning droids? Because I could probably sell them, get us some extra parts. And also, you gotta let me in on the plan.
Yeah, we should do it outside of this restaurant.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about it.
So
This guy's going to turn out to be a narc.
he's gonna drive you back because he has a hover truck. It's a land.
That's true.
It's a land speeder, not an air speeder, which there is a significant difference there. But he does have a working vehicle. You now have at your disposal. If you don't need, well, you do need the droids for the heist, so he won't sell those. All right.
All right.
I mean,
Mr.
keeping the droids for in the future for parts and other heists where we might want a cleaning team to go in there would not necessarily be bad.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
They're,
I don't
they're
know.
just
And it's a
droids.
big ship. It's a big ship.
Yeah, they're droids. There's nothing wrong with keeping the ship clean.
So his I need to go ahead and make him like a full blown stat block thing now. I'll give you a second. He just became an NPC.
Yes. This is how we pick up Mr. Clean. I'm so happy.
Do we need to buy him?
He has a 3 yellow mechanics check, but he is a droid mechanic, so all of his checks against his vehicle will be upgraded, which is fine because they would have been for Zach too, because he's also not a ship mechanic.
Do we
He
need
said
to
he's
buy-
a 3 yellow.
Yep, he's a 3 yellow.
So if he
mechanics.
works with Zach, it's
Or the
3 yellow and a green.
No, he's better in every way. Oh, because he's an intellect of 4. You're right.
Zach has a higher intellect. That's why I was.
Yeah.
So it would be Zach at rank 3, is what it would be.
All right, so I'd have 3 yellows and a green.
Yes, that's what it would be for a combined check. Now you're looking at 1 red and 2 purples for each of your checks. And if you fail, it's if you fail without threat, you just lose the time. You just lose the day.
It just takes longer.
If you fail with 3 threats or more, then you lose credits or for parts and time. And if you despair, the machine is broke.
Yeah, that's
Drum rolls, please.
No, that's not a despair.
Nope, that's a triumph. Okay, so now you'll need 1 more check. So you automatically pass your second check. Or, you guys are worried about cargo capacity. You figure out
Yeah.
with your triumph, if you want, that you could strip out the carbonite ray that doesn't work anyway, and the space that carbonite ray and its mechanics occupied is cargo space you can use to load things in and out of the vessel, significantly increasing its encumbrance.
Oh man, can we make the carbonite ray work?
If you want to. I will also let you do that if you would like to with your triumph. So you can either skip your next check, have extra encumbrance for the vehicle, or the carbonite ray will work.
I'm not gonna lie. I would go with skipping. But you are the mechanic.
I would vote encumbrance or skip.
Encumbrance would be my second choice.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards encumbrance being the way to go.
Your check is pretty good. I mean, you're better than 50-50.
Yeah.
You had to say that.
Although
Well,
no, I've rolled.
I voted to skip, just to be clear.
Yeah, no,
My
I
whole
think
thing is, we have no idea what's in that vault. It could be like 2 big ass blocks of beryllium and a computer.
There's definitely a computer in there, but data doesn't weigh anything.
Right, yeah. So I'm wondering, like, how much carrying capacity do we actually need? We have no idea. We could be wasting this triumph.
and
Alright.
I I like the idea of just skipping one because I've rolled a few triumphs already tonight, and I think my luck might be running out.
All right, yeah, skip it.
Okay, so
I think
you just need one more check then.
yeah, I think skip a day, and plus we have Mr. Clean on our side, so he can bring in a second trash droid to take anything out within his. Yeah, I like the. Yeah, we could probably get another trash droid in one day for reasons. All right, lock and load.
Oh, you were so close. You were so close. So you almost clipped the red wire, and Mr. Clean's like, no, not that one. I've done that before. That's a bad idea. And you guys lose the day because you have to take something completely apart and put it back together. Go ahead and roll it one more time.
So.
Again, you did pass it this time, but man, that side right there really wanted to come up.
It looks a lot like it wanted to.
So you get it done. Lights, sirens, whole 9 yards. Carbonite ray doesn't work, but it is a working airspeeder now.
Yeah, we've got no intent. Yeah, the whole selling it back. We're trying to get the fuck out of here, anyways.
Well, how much did it cost total?
You're 2,000 credits out. He didn't actually roll bad enough to cost any extra money. So it's just the initial payment that you made. Sorry, it was 2,100 was how much you paid
Oh,
for it.
okay.
Because that's how much you paid for it initially. Assuming that you actually sell it back, you might be able to make money back. Assuming the salesperson sticks to his word and actually buys it back.
Yeah, I figure he's a lot like Lieberman.
I'm not all that concerned about trying to sell it back. I'm more concerned about getting off this planet.
Right.
I mean, again, this falls into a worst case scenario. If we manage to get it off planet with us, that means we have another thing to use, another resource for potential future heists.
I don't think we're going to take it off planet with it. Well, question.
Yeah, it's not coming with us.
We're delivering this stuff to Repnus on the planet, right?
Just above it, yeah.
Okay, so
He
we have
can
to get
come
it up.
down.
Yeah, I was going to say, like...
Hold on. So we've been talking about getting all this stuff out of there. What's our plan to get it up into orbit?
I don't
Because
think
this
we have
ship
to.
doesn't
We
get
just have-
there.
Yeah, no, we just have to tell Repnus we got it. Where does he want it?
So, since we have a hangar down here, are we able to bring down the Protostar? Or Proto-Shadow?
This entire hangar would fit in the cargo space of the Proto-Shadow.
But now that I'm a citizen...
You're not
Oh,
a
wait, no, we
citizen.
didn't go that.
But even if you had, like, this thing is... And docking a ship on the planet, remember, the reason you docked the way you did was because you couldn't afford not to.
Right. All right.
So before we actually execute, we should have a plan to get up in case we need to do that expeditiously.
True. I guess we couldn't just Uber up.
We could.
As long as you're not wanted criminals, you could.
Are they going to worry about, like, don't look inside this backpack? They were worried, like, oh, that guy's got a big old Z4. We got a backpack of Peridium.
I mean, yeah, we're not going to be able to make it through customs.
We've got... Again, I like the idea of having at least one additional trash droid with us.
Just a Gronk droid with Peridium.
Well, have a trash droid, get rid of its ability to actually compact anything, so I have additional storage space to... Because who the fuck wants to look inside a trash droid? Although maybe I'm
Customs
oversimplifying
agent.
it. I'm probably oversimplifying it, but
They might have scanners for that kind of thing.
true.
Hey, Chris.
Yep.
Does ion energy cause me pain?
Oh yeah. You could kill yourself with those gloves pretty easily.
But on a lower setting, it would just hurt, right?
Sure. It also may cause you to have amnesia and memory issues. Not that you don't already have those.
I might have found my new drug.
So you said in the city that we're in, there's a huge starport. But if we go further away from the big city, there are less huge starports.
Yep, Corellia is a big planet. There's lots of places you can go. There's actually a resort area to the north called Corvella. It's up in the mountains, and it is tiny, but it has the distinction because it's a retreat for the rich and wealthy of having its own small starport.
Would we be able to afford maybe getting into one of those smaller starports?
It depends on what you want to do. You couldn't dock the Proto Shadow there. With that said, that doesn't mean you couldn't find somebody to take you into orbit from one of those. Or it's also worth noting that if you have everything and you're not currently being chased by the authorities, you can probably set up a rendezvous on the planet. If you are being chased by the authorities, you're probably not going to be able to set up something on the planet. So it really depends on how this goes. As far as what your options are for getting back into orbit. If you're not being chased by the authorities, you could probably just hire a pilot and be like, hey, so we're going to have our astromech undock our ship and fly it out. Can you just meet it in orbit and skip customs? And you could probably get away with that. They're more concerned about stopping things coming in than leaving. But if you're being chased by Corsac and you try to do that, it's going to be a whole different story. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I'm trying to think my way through it so that we have a solution.
So my take on this is, if we actually succeed in getting this, all right, I think that we go with, we give Repnus a call and say, okay, we have what you want, all right, here's where you're going to have to meet us to come get it. I don't think we try to get this off planet. We've already done the bulk of the work, and if he really wants it, he'll come get it.
Yeah, but we really want to get paid.
Could we just tell him it's in the hangar we currently have and just make sure the hangar stays safe until then? Or have him have someone waiting in the hangar to take it?
That's not a bad idea.
I see what you meant earlier by the wine helps with decision making.
Yeah. Keep drinking it. I need
I
another refill.
don't think that's how that works, but all right.
I will say I'm not as classy as you. I'm drinking it out of a sippy cup right now.
Box wine, box or bottle.
It is a bottle that is imported from Italy. Thank you very much.
That's fairly
By imported, he meant he lived there and brought it with him.
No, this is a brand I commonly get while I was there, but I didn't bring with me and I found and I like to drink.
Oh, I bet it cost a fortune over here.
Only about $40.
Yeah, that's a lot for a bottle of wine. As someone who knows something about wine.
Anyway,
That sad moment where I noticed that my taste in wine has changed so much that a $40 bottle of wine does not faze me and is on the cheap end.
The price of wine has nothing to do with its quality. So we're gonna start getting into a debate. My whole family runs a vineyard, so I oppose the theory that spending more on wine gives you better quality because I know it to be not.
You pay for names, you don't pay for quality. Wine's like any other thing. Trust me, I know. This comes from a small family vineyard in southern Italy. It's decent.
All right, what are we rolling? What are we doing? Someone's rolling something.
I was bored.
Oh, well.
I was seeing how long before a triumph or despair comes up.
So the plan right now is just to leave it in the warehouse when we're done.
I mean, if we can coordinate with him so that he has, like, hey, we're doing this day, have someone in this warehouse ready to take it, I think we should be good.
I think that does also only work if you're not being chased by the police.
Right.
Or if you have some brilliant plan to evade them. Like, some super unrealistic Italian Job mini scene.
So why don't we we have the garbage truck now, right?
We
We've
have the
got-
garbage truck and we have the thing. So if we like find a unknown secluded tunnel that we can just ditch into, switch out what they are, and have someone take off in the air blimp they think stole the stuff while the truck drives away with the actual stuff, we're good to go.
It's a valid idea.
I imagine our Corellian inhabitant who's been here for a while would know of a shady place like that living in a shady neighborhood.
Sure.
And that's like, we could have Mr. Clean just be that second getaway driver if we need him. He's not really putting himself in risk, this being his first mission.
Just give him a comm link to give him a call if we don't need him. Just, hey, come back to the hangar, we're done. If we need him, give him a call. Hey, be ready to drive.
Right.
Yep, he's ready. That's a good idea.
Now all we need to do is pick who's going to be the guinea pig that disappears with the getaway vehicle and might not return.
Oh, that's going to be me.
But you're the captain.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Maybe our disposable meat bag or something like that, who's literally just brute strength and semi-good piloting, might be
I'm a better pilot
candidate for that.
I'm a totally better pilot than you.
And the paintbot, maybe, because the paintbot's wanting to commit suicide anyway.
Yeah, I have a one yellow, one green planetary piloting, so I am
So
a
you'll
pro.
be able to fly this fire truck.
Yeah.
All right, then.
So I think that
I want you
covers
to
our
take
escape
it-
plans. We
You're
just
going
need
to
a
take it
schedule
back
for the
to...
pickup to be.
Yeah, but you're going to take the fire truck back to Eldon, right?
Yeah, and sell it.
Okay, good.
Yep, and I'll activate my self-destruct if the authorities come for me. Or murder them all. Into unconsciousness.
Whichever comes second.
Yes. Oh, no, better than that. I'll ion myself. That should wipe my memory without actually killing me. Maybe. Did we lose Chris?
Nope, I'm still here.
Okay.
That sounds like a future us problem if we get there. I think
Yeah.
we have I think we're at the point where we have a good insertion and escape plan at this point.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let me empty the bladder and refill the glass.
Sounds like a
Do
good
that. Be
idea.
careful.
Same.
I'm gonna do that too.
I'm gonna get a snack.
What?
I'm hungry.
A total. Did Penny tell you the plan for the back porch?
Yes. Yes, she did. I think it's an interesting alternative to your garage plan.
It'll add value to the house.
I always told Dad and Jenny when they bring up stuff like that that only matters if you intend to sell the house. Which I don't intend to sell my house, so I never worry about stuff like that. I worry about whether or not it's convenient for me and makes sense for me.
Yeah, I get you. And it's convenient. It makes sense. And eventually,
Okay, I'm
the
back.
kids will sell the house, and I'm dead.
It's the same thing with, like, you know, Dad
I'm back.
and Jenny often say, "Oh, but you got so much equity in your house," and I'm
I'm
like,
back.
that only matters if you're willing to use it, and I'm not. So.
Right.
Hey, what you doing?
Okay.
All right, guys. So,
Mr. Clean's gonna send the Waz in.
Mr. Clean's gonna take a Waz into the building. Waz, are you back?
We can...
Oh yeah, I'm shooting it.
Oh yeah,
No, wait.
he's not asleep either. That's good. So, I don't have the 43rd floor as an independent map, but what I am going to do is I'm going to pack this map and bring up the 42nd floor.
While you're doing that, I just want to say I have gained a new appreciation for everything you do during these games, having to watch the stream in order to see what's going on. That being said, every time you go behind the screen, I do look away.
It's a mess back here. I actually just decided not to fog of war that because I forgot you were watching the stream, so it would give you an unfair advantage. Let me load up. Oh, oops. There we go. Alrighty. Now you're on the floor above this, but we're just going to say that there's an event that Waz is going to be able to see all this once he gets in there. But let's start from the beginning. Waz, you shove yourself into this garbage disposal thing. And what seems like hours later, because it is actually hours later, it finally beep boops and the hatch on it opens, and you are in an incredibly hot, dark, windy, noisy room. And there's no illumination, it's just glowing LEDs. And that's not necessarily something that you guys thought of in advance, so other than the very dim glow of these control panels, you're just in this dark room. What do you do?
Does my touch screen have like my slicer gear is a data pad, so I hit the power button on that and it gives me a real low, like little cheap flashlight.
Yep, sure thing. Alright, so now you have like this dim light to navigate by. You're surrounded by different sets of mechanical mechanisms. It looks like it opened you up between two of the air handlers. From your dim light, well, let's say, what are you going to try to do first?
I'm look for a I'm looking for a console to disable whatever internal security I can figure out on the 43rd floor.
Okay. Find. So give me a perception check. It's going to be 2 purples. Okay. It takes you about 10 minutes, but you eventually find a maintenance access panel that has a proper data port hooked up into it. You're going to need to breach security. Security on this facility is going to be 3 purples and 2 blacks.
I have a data spike.
Okay, go ahead and use it.
That's my 2 blues to that.
So does the data spike remove programs?
It very specifically
I
says
think it does.
once installed on a system. Doesn't explicitly say that there. I don't have the PDF up though.
We're gonna say that it does. We'll take the 2 blacks out.
Cool. So I don't get a 2 boosts. That's how they were getting used.
Well, it's either or. If you'd rather have the 2 boosts, you can.
I would not. Oh. I'm gonna flip a destiny token too.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I concur with that assessment.
Oh, look at
Oh
you.
yeah. Get out of here.
With your triumph, how would you like to spend it?
Can I permanent? Oh man, that's a lot of things.
I'm gonna say instead of just access to this floor, you bypass the security on all floors, so that you don't have to worry about bypassing it again downstairs.
So the slicing stuff is a very specific minigame that has its own sets of rules and stuff into it. It's not a strictly narrative thing. He's not just bypass security. He's not just in. It's not a one roll thing. It's a minigame.
Can I take those 2 blacks away, disable the security systems permanently?
Yes, that is 100% an option. You can disable the security programs. And since you haven't raised an alarm, they're not going to have anything other than base level checks unless you raise an alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you now have access to the system. What would you like to proceed from here?
So there's no security in the 42nd floor, 43rd floor.
There's no security programs.
Yep. I want to look to see what kind of sensors they have. Like, what kind of things could I potentially set off walking around up here?
Okay, we're going to call that enact command. And we're going to call that... Ooh, is enact command a 2 or 3 purple? I don't have the book in front of me. Do you know off the top of your head?
I do not.
Let me go ahead and grab it real quick since we're in the middle of this. Flipped right to it, but I didn't.
Page 87.
83. I have the actual book, so your extra pages are the front and back covers and such. Okay, access system you have already done. Enact command, difficulty varies, so I need that chart. Where's that chart at? There's that chart. It's a 3 purple check for this particular type. The vault you're going to be going into would have been a 4 purple plus upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Get
God.
out of here.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and list this down. You might want to be ready to take notes. You have controls over all environmental systems from this terminal. Ventilation, lights, etc. They have security cameras in every room, including the vault that you have access to. Each hallway has at least 1 major power conduit that you can trigger KOTOR style. Furthermore, because you triumphed, there are 2 turrets in this room that are flame turrets. They shoot, they're flame projector turrets, so they're not laser turrets.
Environmental security cameras, hallways, and turrets.
Yep. don't forget you have like conduits you can overload. At least one in each hallway.
That was hallways.
Yep.
Splody things.
You can
Ooh.
see into the vault, right? So, will our fire truck carry everything out of there?
Is that a perception check?
Well, I mean, I'm trying. You can't see into the cabinets.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I can count cabinets and see how big the. Oh wow, that's a fun mental
yeah,
game.
yeah. I was about to say you probably don't have enough to carry all of the party and all the cabinets if you took the whole cabinets. It is likely, however, considering the types of cabinets they are, because they're built like safety deposit boxes, so the security on the cabinet is huge. The cabinet itself is this massive thing, but the drawer you pull out of it is relatively small. So,
Must come back with a solid maybe.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, there's a bunch of big boxes in there. But if you take the stuff that's inside the boxes, inside of the boxes, you know, like how a pizza fits inside of a square box, there's a little bit of corners extra. I think we're all right.
Okay. You keep doing what you're doing. This is gonna take like overnight, right?
oh yeah, well, it's narratively he's probably already at the point where it's like closing time and people have started to leave.
All right.
Like that's all. But he rolled 2 triumphs, so as long as he sticks to the stuff he's already got control of, he's in control of that system.
All right. So, but what I'm thinking now is that we need to go back to the store and just get some backpacks so that we can fit things into them and get them up through the hole that we drill out.
Yes, I'll narratively allow you to just have backpacks. That's easy.
Yeah, so if we're talking about backpacks, I know Clax has his big multi thing that we've rigged to be kind of a cross the chest belt thing, and then he also has a Wookiee satchel in his locker that can be used for stuff too.
I mean, I was just interpreting Matt's request as we need duffel bags to shove shit into, not we need actual gear.
Right.
Was I wrong? Yeah. You can just, if you just want duffel bags to shove shit into, you have that. You don't even need to worry about anything else. You have that.
Okay.
You just got to carry them. Now, Waz, before we move on to the next phase of this operation, we only have an hour left, so probably won't get through the whole heist tonight, but we're going to go ahead and move on. Is there anything else you'd like to do? It's, getting on closing time. People are starting to leave.
I'm gonna wait for people. I'd like to take a nap and get up at like 2 or 3 in the morning to look for the external facing door.
Absolutely. Okay, you can do that. You take your nap. When you wake up, your mouth is dry, and you realize that you didn't actually pack a ton of food. So something you might want to think of when the next group comes in. But you start looking through the systems because you rolled full environmental access for control. You have control of on the floor that you're on, currently in the maintenance area. There are several spaces where it's not like air conditioned. Like there's actual places where it's just a vent with a piston on it that you can pop open manually without any computer control. Because you own the system, you can just cut off the security. It's super easy. The hardest part is not falling out of it because obviously there's no handrails once you open it. But there's parts it's just screen out to the air. It's how the air gets ventilated out of the building.
Is there a vent that I could pop out of and a like office fridge that I could raid?
On the 42nd floor, 44th
Yeah.
floor, or 41st floor?
I'm on 40.
On 42, no. 42 is a very strictly controlled lab environment.
41 is
cube
office
farm.
space.
Yeah.
41 is strictly office space cube farm.
Can I get to there through the vents?
Yep. Give me a 2 purple coordination check. All right. So, you shimmy through one of these vent areas and you find a break room, and you're trying to lean around to see if like there's anyone in there, and you just fall out of the vent into the break room, and you break a couple chairs on your way down. Nobody comes rushing in though.
That's good. I'd like to try to place those chairs back into unbroken fashion as possible.
Yeah,
no.
There's no fixing those chairs.
Oh, okay. Is there? Oh, I know a security droid. Can I take those with me?
Just
Chairs.
prop them up.
I'm going to take all of the pieces of the chair and try to carry it and climb back through the vents along with my snack.
Okay, you raid the fridge. There's
Took Tiffany's yogurt.
there's several people's lunches for the next day in there. Like they planned out their week and they meal planned, and you're just like, Tiffany isn't getting her meals this week. Thanks for being so, thanks for being such a prepper, because she's got them all like labeled and shit.
I choose the low sodium options.
No, absolutely not. So
It's all pasta.
yep. So you want to take these chairs back with you and all your ill-gotten goods here. So both of those purples, and you're climbing up, are going to become reds.
Oof.
Oh, you're
Your
so
chair's
proud.
worth it, buddy.
I would have put the chairs back so that they looked like they were fine. So when they sat in them, they just shatter.
He said that wasn't an option.
Yeah, they're a little bit too broken. Like he's literally taking like the legs of the chairs and piles of plastic that used to be the seats. Oh. All right.
The actual fuck, Jeremy.
I just throw the chairs and it closes the vent and I'm stuck in the second floor.
It could be worse. He could have rolled a
Despair.
despair as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not even sure what that roll equals out to. That's confusing.
Yeah, it is. These are my favorite kind of rolls as a GM. All right, so here's how this goes. So you get about halfway up. It's a vertical shaft to go between each floor. And you're most of the way back to the 43rd floor when you suddenly lose your grip and start falling like 10, 12 feet. And you hit the T-junction where like it sprouts off to different sides, and you manage to pull a semi-martial arts move and take the feet of some of the chairs and stab them into the sides and like stop yourself mid-fall. The rest of the stuff falls the rest of the way down the shaft. Some of this stuff falls like 13 floors before hitting another junction. And you're sitting there suspended now between floors, hanging by these two little arm spike things. I did not spend your triumph, so that's something you can do whatever you want with.
So I lost my food.
You didn't lose your food because you rolled advantage, but all the parts of the chairs, with the exception of the two legs you have in your hands, fell all the way to the bottom. They probably made a ton of noise, but they fell a long way before they hit.
You probably went through the vent and killed some poor asshole.
It is like 2:33 in the morning.
Who's still there at 2 in the morning?
It's a good thing we got a cleaning droid.
Sure is.
You guys don't go to work at 2 in the morning?
Just calm that in and be like, hey, this is the area you go and clean before anybody gets in the morning.
Are they still there?
Not unless you specified it. They usually show up like really early in the morning, but they do show up before anyone else, so they'll probably be there in an hour or two.
Yeah. Can I have them go look for shrapnel?
Yes, and patch up the holes? Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Mhm.
Okay. So you found an external hatch. You've done a little bit of exploring. You stole Tiffany's food. Bonus points for that. And I'm assuming you're going to want to try to climb your way back up. Now that you're not carrying all that extra shit, you can take it back to 2 purples.
I'm gonna call it. He's gonna fail this one.
I got a triumph, so can I have a boost for my next one?
You can have 2 boosts.
2 boosts. So I'm trying to now use the things. No, it's going to make so much noise. Instead of just trying to like boom, boom, boom.
All right. You make it back up to your little hidey hole on the 43rd floor.
Oh my goodness, I got yogurt. That's going to spoil so fast. I'm going to eat it all right now.
God damn it, I wish you'd rolled threat on that check. Because I would have immediately been like, oh, you got some dietary issues now.
It's cheese.
Yogurt's good for your
cheese.
tummy. Yogurt's real good for your tummy.
If you're human.
Oh, that's fair.
He can't have salt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Oh.
Like-
And let me tell you something. Tiffany, she's all about some salt.
The salted caramel yogurts.
All right.
And a packet of salted pretzels.
So are you chilling until the next person's supposed to arrive?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real careful now that I threw some things around.
Okay. Who's next?
Me.
Okay, what are we doing?
I'm getting in the gunk droid.
Okay. So they put you in a little garbage compactor thing. It seems like hours go by. And you pop out in the same exact spot that Waz popped out in, and you see that he's basically made himself a little nest.
All right. I've got my night vision goggles on.
Okay, they're useless in here. It's so super hot with all the thermal currents. Oh wait, no, they're straight up night vision. No,
Yeah.
it would work fine in here. It's not thermal vision. So yeah, you've got it. It does make all these little control panels seem like they are brighter than the sun, but other than that, yeah. Waz is nested up in the corner.
Can someone check to see if I have a glow stick in my locker?
These are the contents of your locker.
No, negative on the glow stick.
I didn't remember if it was this guy or the other guy I got it on. I just wanted to double check. And I don't think my armor gives me any sort of vision.
Yeah, but like, you can get a glow stick. You haven't gotten to the building yet. It's
Yeah.
every corner store. So,
I'm gonna send the message out. We should probably get some rope too. Climbing was not fun last night.
All right.
Seeing as
So
I think I'm the next one to come in, and I'm coming in via a vent/window with my backpack, so I can have extra glow sticks, rope, rations, water. I can bring in the whole regalia with us, with the couple of light weapons I'm bringing in with me as well.
that's the plan.
okay, so you're bringing all the gear then. Okay, so let's
See,
start.
he's bringing all the things that was for
I'm
him.
also bringing like the laser, so we can get
Okay,
set up to cut
so
through, and like
the laser by itself is 6 encumbrance. So
my current encumbrance with my bag, if I remember correctly, and I'm only bringing the 2 lighter weapons, not my full regalia, is what it says, which is I think like 9 plus the full, all the attachments for the bag, which I think gets me another 8. So I have quite a bit of encumbrance.
it gives you 6. So you have a total of 15 encumbrance you can use.
Yeah.
Okay, so assuming you're starting from nothing, which you should be, you've got your beam drill is 6. Each of these guys should be 1, so 7, 8, 9.
Would I be able to still have my armor on?
Yes, but that takes half encumbrance if you're wearing it. So it's only 2. So that's 11, 12, and then you wanted a glow rod, which is surely here somewhere. And that's an encumbrance 0 item, so you don't have to worry about that. And water. Water is 1 encumbrance.
Some rope.
It's in
Oh,
there.
you have
Yeah.
rope. Got it.
Yep, he's not even maxed out. He's got like 3 encumbrance left. He's going to bring all this gear over here with him. Okay, so he's coming in. You guys are doing the whole taxi thing. You're going to drop him off from an airspeeder taxi?
Well, I mean, we got our airspeeder working, so it doing a drive-by should be fine, right?
If you want to take the... You talking about the fire truck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that if you want.
We're just gonna be
I mean, a
test
fire
driving the
truck
fire
just
truck.
rooming through the city and someone jumping off probably wouldn't be noticed.
I mean, as long as you don't turn the lights and sirens on, you'll probably be fine.
Yeah, we're just gonna be test driving it, driving around the city. No lights and siren or anything.
Okay. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a planetary piloting from Ghost. And then I'm going to get a stealth check from Clint.
Okay, quick question. I know we were having an issue with dice roll. I have a dice roller. Do you just want me to roll on what I have and tell you what I get, or do you want me to keep having someone roll it for me?
You can roll it and just tell me.
What's the difficulty for the piloting check?
2 purples. It's almost like you knew.
And what is the difficulty for my stealth?
2 purple. Waz, you going to open this door?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you doing anything to signal, or y'all talking over comms, or are you doing anything to assist Clint with his check?
Get the door open and try to catch his hand as he's whipping in
Okay.
100 miles an hour.
I mean, he can fly. It's more about making sure he can find it. It's a massive building, small door.
Oh, we don't have a glow rod.
Okay. All right, so it's going to be 2 purple stealth check, Clint.
Okay, I got 2 success, 2 advantage.
Okay. So he gets in there, no problem. And now you guys have access to all this gear. You also can start setting up the beam drill if you'd like. So the beam drill
That is going to be my focus.
it comes as a standard, like, shoulder mounted, like you see it in the picture, but it also comes with a tripod thing where you can set it up on like an automated burrow thing. So you can like set it up to run independently. Which I'm going to assume is what you want to do.
That sounds like a good plan.
I was definitely going to stay with it the whole time, and once it's done with setup, it was going to come with me as an improvised melee weapon if need be.
Sure thing, you can do that. It is technically a melee weapon, which, yeah.
No one's ever used one of those before.
Nope, it's unprecedented in our party, absolutely. I didn't get the stats horribly wrong with it, made super OP.
I may have vaporized some people.
Okay, so you're beam drilling, or are you guys going to start doing that? Because that's the other question, because, you know, you've taken multiple days. I'm assuming that by the time we get to day 3 and Clax has joined the party, that you guys have a pretty good feel for how the schedule works. Payne, did you want to try to inhabit the body of another being? Or...
Yes.
Okay, so one of the things that you guys would notice during your time waiting for Clax to show up is that at this weird firing range you got over here, they often send their defunct droids to be quote-unquote decommissioned here.
Okay.
There's enough parts there to reassemble one of their standard protocol droids with your head. Or you could just use their head. I'll let you transfer into that. Basically,
Yes.
you can become this droid.
Yes, that's what I want to do.
Okay. Alright, so it's going to be a combined check because someone has to help you do this. Even if it makes the check harder, it's going to be a mechanics check. Okay? It's going to be
Okay.
it's going to be a red and a purple, and you guys can sort it out amongst yourselves however you want. But basically, you have to talk them through reintegrating you into the other droid body. I suggest not despairing.
All right, Wes.
Laz, what is your mechanics at?
2 greens.
Mine's the same, so how about I assist Waz while he does this so he gets the extra 2 blues?
And it's a combined check on my part too, right?
Yep, you can totally do it that way. I'm fine.
All right, so it's a yellow and 2 greens and 2 blues.
Red and a purple.
Team effort.
Yep, it's red and purple. That's correct.
Clanks has seen a few droids assembled in his day, so he can kind of point out things that are useful.
With the 2 advantages, you may integrate one of your weapons into the droid if you would like.
Oh, my new ion gloves.
Okay, they are now your hands. They are no longer a weapon you can let go of. They are your actual hands.
Sweet.
They are also really hard to detect now because they're part of your droid body. Incidentally, you've also gained because they destroyed the droids with their credentials on them, so you now have protocol droid credentials.
So I can just walk around this floor, right?
It will pass a cursory inspection. One of the
All
things
right.
you guys would notice is that the droids become active at night. So at night, these battle droids start roaming the hallways every night. During the day, they tend to come back to the office, or to come back to the workshop. But at night, they can become active and patrol the halls.
With our observation, is there a standard pattern they follow that we can discern?
It's pretty standard. It's like a really bad random number generator, where like it's mostly predictable, but every once in a while it changes.
Based upon time.
Yep.
So what model droid is that?
It's not going to be in the generator because it's an Old Republic droid. Just call yourself a protocol droid.
Yeah, but what model is it for Google?
Put in BD-4. Sorry, B4-D4.
Okay.
So I have to ask the question, now that you don't look like a Frankenstein, do you like the pain?
We'll see. This one definitely looks cooler.
I like BD4. I like 44. He's one of my favorite droids from the KOTOR game. All right, so you've got a new body, and you have the ability to roam the hallways somewhat unchallenged. You wouldn't want them to scan your security credentials because your droid has been marked for destruction, and that might end badly. But other than that, like you can open doors and shit.
Okay.
Waz has almost complete control over all the non-super high security stuff, meaning basically everything that's not the vault. And Klax has showed up and has started cutting a hole in the roof of the vault. We're on day 4 now.
So this is Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, it should be Sunday.
All right. So we should be about to cut into the vault.
I'm gonna stop like 5 minutes before we'd actually breach the vault to do like a comms check, make sure everybody's ready, in position, we're all good to go, so that when I breach the vault, things will actually start happening. Also, did we ever go through planting the timered explosive devices?
That's
that was
what
the one
Waz
thing
has
I
to
don't
do.
think we've covered yet.
Yeah, Waz has to go set the fires.
You haven't actually done that yet. Also, you can breach that vault at any time you want because you have the weakest point of the vault and the best tool for the job. So it only will actually take you a couple of hours to cut through the roof of the vault. So you can pretty much cut through the vault at will at this point.
But it'll take time, right?
I'm assuming he's already cut to the point where he just hasn't breached. Like he's millimeters away from breaching the vault.
Right.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I push a button and less than a minute later I'm in the vault.
So we need to start the fires and get the alarm going.
So I'm letting everybody know we're standing by, ready to go. Just make sure everything else is set up and tell me when to hit the button to make my final cut.
All right.
One question before we go. We've been watching the security cameras. Are there still actual people in the building after they close?
Very, very few, and none on this floor. This floor seems to have its own lockdown protocol. About an hour after closing time, super bad security like kicks in. All these droids become active. There's like lasers and shit activated everywhere. I mean, it's super locked down on this floor to the point where you're pretty sure employees are told if you stay late, you better stay in your office or you're gonna die. So that's like you're there till the next morning if you stay late.
Okay.
With that said,
And we know what sensors are in the vault.
I was getting to that. You guys don't actually have control over the vault security, but it stands to reason that there's some kind of security in the vault. Plus, there's a shield generator. And you guys...
Didn't we have a camera into the vault where we could see what was going on in it?
Yeah, but you know you can't actually see lasers, right? Like in real life.
It's the powder, though.
Like, I'm also going to point out that there's a shield generator, and you guys haven't actually defeated said shield generator yet. And you'd have like 2 days to have talked about it, so I figure at some point, because you guys know about it, you would have brought it up.
I actually completely forgot about it. Has our lovely Slicer friend who's gotten into the system thought about trying to probe to see if he can get into any of the vault systems?
Oh, those are really scary. Like, there's code I don't even understand. Like, one it said it was like all completely in binary, and then they started putting A's and B's in replace of the binary. And then I took a nap, and then, oh my goodness. So yes, I can try, but it's terrifying.
Maybe
What
I
about
gave
cutting
you
the
one
power?
too many stim sticks.
We
And now
need,
we got a protocol droid that can walk around.
yeah, Dr. Payne needs to cut power.
He's really good at that too.
I'd
Where
say
is
not only cut power, but maybe get us access to vault controls, because we can disable that shield generator and the vault alarms altogether.
Maybe, yeah.
We can just drop in, grab things, run out the top, and they'd never even know we were in there. Minus the gaping hole in the roof.
All right, so the shield generator. So once they cut through the ceiling, there'll be a shield that they can't get through, right?
Yes. And the shield has a battery backup that you guys already know about. So
Now, is this shield generator like we see in Star Wars, where a biologic could move through it, but energy is dissipated?
no, it's like a ratio.
Okay, that makes a big difference. So I was just wondering.
I don't usually have to explain that. I forgot I had to. My bad.
I wasn't sure either.
Sorry, I know the difference. Sorry.
I'm going to go back to my other statement before, which is there is a battery backup that you guys already know exists. So if you cut the power, it's going to fall back to the battery backups.
Do we know where the power and the battery backup is?
It's on the schematics that you guys have. That is, I'm trying to lead you into that.
Okay, well, yes. So, on the schematics, where are they?
Okay, so the battery backups exist on the floor that you guys are on, but it's the only section of the floor that you're on that has security that is beefy. There is a physical cage around it that needs to be defeated, and there is a independent security system that needs to be defeated to get into the battery backups. Once you're there, you know from your schematics that if you disable the battery backups, it will trigger an alarm, and there's nothing you can do to stop that. However, if you time it right, you could probably bring them both down at the same time and the shield would dissipate.
And are we able to figure out how much time that would give us? Because we also have lockers inside that we need to take care of as well.
It just depends on how you bring the power down.
What I'm discovering as we do this is I've not seen enough heist movies lately.
Okay, so we time it right. It seems like the best way to bring the power down would be if I walked up to the panel and ion punched it.
We're trying to still do this sneaky like.
I think we're at the point where when we do this, it's not going to be sneaky anymore. But I don't have to punch it. I could just put my hand on it and, release a little pulse.
The thing is that when we set the fires, the fire alarm's going to go off. When we cut the hole open in the vault alarm is going to go off. And then, I'm sorry, did you say there's a security system on the battery backup that if we do it right and kill that first, the shields don't come back online? We still need to cut power to the whole building, though, don't we?
So we need to cut power to the shield generator and the battery generator at the same time so that we can get through the shields. We also still have the fire diversion we were going to be making so we could get the fire truck into position. So,
Well, that's also going to cover the alarm.
are we able to set up the fires so it looked like they would be the trigger of these things so that it wouldn't be a red flag that someone's going in the vault?
I mean, I thought that was the plan.
Yeah. The plan
I
was to
just
have
want to make sure
everything going off
we're
at once.
putting that out there that that's how this is going to be. Because if we can do that, we can have the droid in position to bring down the actual power at the same time. We have either the slicer or clacks with the ion gun to bring down the battery. I think if we can do those two at the same time and make it look like it's happening from the fire, no one's going to rush to the vault. That would make logical sense, like, hey, there's a fire happening that's causing these things.
Right. I think that's the timing that we need.
Can we trace any of those circuits out so that we know, like, exactly what circuit to fry so that the power for the shield generator goes out? Or are we trying to fry the whole electrical system?
If you want to try to target the system specifically, you can try to do that. You have the ability to walk the hallways as a droid.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to do that and figure out either where the breaker is or where the conduit for the power runs.
Okay. So I'm gonna need a mechanics check, 1 purple from Payne, and I need the Waz to tell me how he's setting up his fire timer things, and roll me the relevant check depending on how he's setting his up.
Okay. While Payne is going around, I want to be on a comm link with him, watching the security cameras we have to let him know when there are guards coming so he can try to avoid them.
Okay. He was successful with his part. Waz.
I'm putting fire diversions on just random floors, right?
Well, that's what I'm asking is, what are you doing? How are you doing it? You know.
Is this still late at night?
It's up to you.
I would like again to be late at night, less occupied. Oh man, if I would have thought it really through, I would have said, "Hey, Mr. Clean, can your cleaning bots just drop these off at random locations that nobody sees?"
That would have been a terrible idea. I'm glad you didn't think of that.
So yeah, I'm going to crawl through some vents. I'm going to. I don't want to. I'm going to find like in people's drawers and stuff. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So Tiffany's lunchboxes start appearing in random people's drawers.
Yes.
Are you setting them as a timer? Or
do I have a button I can hit to set them all off simultaneously?
No, but they can be rigged to trigger when someone opens the drawer.
I definitely don't want that.
Okay. So timer, how long?
How long or how close are we to having everything go down?
Well, you're our slicer too, so you need to set them all within the right time frame so that you can get back up and slice the battery backup security.
Is that something I can do from the whatever I am, or have to go physically touch that one too?
You have to
So I say if you set a multiple hour timer, we can let everybody know, including the getaway van, when that's going to be, and we can make it so we're all in the right place at the right time.
Cool.
This isn't something we need to rush. This is something we can methodically set up in advance.
Well, if it's in the middle of the night and we're going to have it happen.
Say it's like midnight right now, set them for 4 hours, we execute everything at 4 a.m. 4 hours should be more than enough time for you to place everything, get back up there, do your slice, and get where we need to go.
Sounds good. I do that.
how long are they set for?
4 hours.
Okay, so it's like midnight on Sunday. You set
Mhm.
it for 4 a.m. on Sunday.
Yep.
Okay, 4 a.m. on Sunday is go time. All right, so the next phase is this battery backup, or the next phase is... So, Payne, you found the breaker box. There is a breaker box on the wall of the vault that feeds the actual shield generator.
Okay.
Specifically. It is within easy reach. It is something that you can disable. It is also not heavily shielded. With that said,
Okay.
there are alarm cables that run to it, but that's to be expected.
Right.
Question with that: could he call our pyrotechnic and get him to leave a fire charge in the vicinity of that breaker?
You're already... So you're at the point now where everything you add on... That's why I was asking about specific time. Like, you don't have time to do all of those things.
It's probably going to make some smoke when I hit it.
So the timing though is now, if I'm understanding your breaker box here, this is just the power to the shield generator from the building. Then
Yes.
you've got the battery backup, which is actually up a floor,
Yes.
surrounded by a cage. So there needs to be the slice, then the physical punch of the building power, and then someone's going to have to cut the battery backup too.
So effectively, the building power cut, the battery slice cut, and then the drop-in should all be happening 1, 2, 3. So the slice and the battery cut, the battery cut and the power cut should be happening simultaneously, and then the slice should be happening maybe 5 seconds later for someone to get in. Or not the slice, the cut in for the bolt. Like, it should be 1, 2, 3 kind of fire off.
What kind of
Yeah,
cage
but-
is the battery backup in?
Yeah, you're going to have to hit that with the beam drill, I think.
So it's a physical security cage. There is no slice if you're going to hit that thing with the beam security. But there is no slice, period. I said it was a physical security cage. That means it's a skullduggery check. It's got to be...
Okay.
It's got to be physically bypassed. Waz is still super good at that. He's actually better at that than slicing. But they do. You hit it right on the head. Those things have to happen back to back to back to back if you want to successfully pull this off. You have to do all three of those things at the same time.
So okay, so
And that time
we
is
know
4
that. Yeah, 4 a.m. That's when everything's going down.
So Clax
So we've got-
will be at the drill, standing by for like the 1, 2, 3 to come across the comms for him to activate that drill.
All right. So I'm going to time it so that as I shamble through the hall here, as I walk up past the breaker box, my left hand's just going to reach out and give it a little bzz, and that'll do it.
So Waz is going to do the skullduggery. That's going to take care of the battery.
So that takes care of him getting to the battery. He still has to disable it. There's a number of
So
ways
Waz
to
is
do
still going to disable the battery.
that. And you guys haven't actually grabbed these different weapons, so I don't know who has what. But it stands to reason that if Waz grabs... Oh, he doesn't like ion guns. He doesn't like guns, so...
I know.
He could just
I'm pretty sure all the weapons belong to Clax.
He could just yank the cable out, I guess, if he wanted to.
I mean, Clax did bring 2 ion guns and did say one of them should be used to disable the battery, so he would have naturally given that to Waz, whether he likes it or not. If he chooses to use it, it's up to him, but Clax would only have the human gun and the ion gun. Like, that's all he would have on him. He would have given the other one to Waz.
This is a tool to disable a battery. This is not a weapon.
Okay. Well,
Right.
go ahead and give me a 1 red and 2 purple skullduggery check.
It's also a tool to disable droids, but it's not a weapon.
So, Payne, when you do your little thing, the
Yep.
alarms start going off, the droids all go into high security mode, and your problem now is while that went off without a hitch, you now have to get back to the 43rd floor for extraction.
Okay?
Okay? So, you are in a position where the lights have turned red, the droids have kind of went berserk. I'm going to move this little droid token. This is now Payne. He was over here where he hit the button. You can change it to his proper designation Actually.
Where's my egress?
So the egress that you know of, you have one here.
Hmm.
You have one in here. Those are the two that you know of. Waz could probably get you alternate ways out if you don't feel comfortable taking either of those routes.
I also did not pop that lock. I got
Yes.
one advantage.
Well, he doesn't know that yet, though. But yes, I know that.
So Waz is plugged into the system right now as he's doing these things. He can see what's happening.
No, he's
No,
not.
I'm at the gate.
He's picking a lock. He has no idea what's going on with anyone else. Unless they calm him and say X, Y, or Z.
Okay, so Clax is still waiting on the comm to start drilling. He has not received that yet, I believe.
No, we all did it at the same time. I thought that's what we said we were doing.
That is
Okay.
that you guys had to do.
Okay, then yes, Clax would be activating the drill and cutting through the last few centimeters right now.
Okay. So
Right. So, did you want me to move yet, or am I waiting?
I wanted to know what your first decision was. Are you going to make a run for the exit as is, or are you going to... Because if you calm Waz, that will interrupt what he's doing, which dominoes out to everything.
No, I was not going to call Waz. I was going to go for the exit where I found my newest body.
Okay. Alright, there's only one droid between you and him there, and if you time it right, you can get it while he's clearing a room. So go ahead, and if you can tell me what check you want to use for this. Basically, it's an evasion check to see if you can slip by him while he's clearing one of these rooms.
This is me here, right?
Yep, that's you.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, there are two of them.
Good. Okay, good. I thought there were two. I was like, maybe I made a mistake and I don't see something.
There's two.
Yeah. So I'm gonna attempt to time it.
Okay, it's a 2 purple check. You can use either coordination or skullduggery or stealth. It's all kind of the same for you.
Yeah. So here's what I was thinking.
Mhm.
Is I'm going to come around this corner here, go into this room, walk down to here, and we've been watching these droids for a while, so we kind of know their route and their gait.
Mhm.
And so that's how I was planning to time it to get to here behind him. And then I'm gonna have to get creative.
I mean,
Does
you could
this one-
time to pop out as that second droid goes into that upper room to scan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming you were doing. It's still a 2
Okay.
purple check.
All right, and you wanted you said stealth or
It's all the same for you if this sheet's anywhere near accurate. It's either stealth or skullduggery or coordination, and all of those are the same check for you.
that is not good. Well, that's all right.
Maybe this will be the one time you roll well.
Nope. Okay. But you didn't fail horribly. So we'll address that in a minute. But you pop out of this room, and it's that one time that the droid didn't follow its protocols, and you come face to face with a security droid.
I'm gonna punch him.
Okay, and we will resolve that in just a second. Waz, your brilliant plan was it has 2 contact points on the door of this cage, and you were going to hot glue them together and then just unbolt the door and be inside. And you did all of that, except when you tried to unbolt the door and take it off, that hot glue totally gave way. The alarm comes off, red lights are flashing, the alarm is going off, the battery's intact, you have an issue. What do you want to do?
Can I just try to rip the door off at this point and then shoot it?
Give me an athletics check. 2 purples. Okay, you've ripped the door off. A buzzing noise starts coming from one of the batteries, but you don't see any problem with it, so you go ahead and shoot it. It explodes in an extraordinary fashion. Go ahead and roll me just a straight agility check to see if you can dodge out of the way. Give me 1 red. All right.
Shit.
All right. With 5 successes, you make it all the way back to where Clax is now. He's drilling through the top of the vault, and for a split second, he drills through, and the shield is still there, and he has that moment of, "That's not good." And then, right as you show up, it just flickers out, and you both are now standing above this hole above your vault.
And that is Clax's cue to drop in, make sure there's nothing in there, and then run to the filing cabinets and start trying to open them.
Yep. So you drop in, and other than the fact that there are a lot of alarms going off that you didn't think were going to be going off, and like the building's on 100% full alert, you are free to now look through these cabinets, and also there's this data core that you guys have to dump the data for.
So me, as being a non-computer guy, is just taking everything from the cabinets and stuffing them into bags.
Okay.
Arbitrarily, not paying attention to what I'm grabbing, just getting it into a bag.
No problem. Let me give you some bags. Here are your 2 bags. Now, Ghost. You're getting all this. You're getting all this over comms. You and Randall are rigged up and ready to go in the escape vehicle. What are you gonna do?
And just to clarify real quick, fire explosions have started, right?
Yeah, they all started going off on time. You passed your tech, so those are going off, and some of the alarms. There are fire alarms, but there are also intruder alarms going off. That's why there's more alarms than you think there should be.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna start flying towards the building.
Okay.
And we'll get a good flight pattern around it.
Okay.
And wait for other fire trucks, I guess.
Okay, so you're not going in lights and sirens like you're responding to a call. You're just doing a holding pattern.
There wasn't a call, right? There hasn't been one yet?
You don't actually have a real, like, fire band. Like, you don't actually know that because you didn't hack your way into their systems. You just built a somewhat mock-up of a ship.
So, question though, as they're flying up and starting to see what's happening around the building, knowing what should be going on, would they be able to see other fire vehicles coming in and be able to, like, mimic what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that's what. Yeah, I'm hoping can happen then. So I'll fly around and wait for other fire trucks. Hopefully, they show up soon.
Clax, when you open these vaults, there's 2 substances you do not understand. One of them, just real quick on stream, one of them looks like this, one of them looks like this, and they're bricks of different stuff. They're in separate containers on either side of the vault. How do you want to pack those? Because you said
they go in separate bags.
Okay, that is the correct answer. But I just wanted to give you a chance to fail.
Pour them both out into your pocket.
Because he did initially say, "I just start chucking them in bags," and I'm like, let me touch on that for a second.
Eat them.
All right, Kizik, you're taking care of the data vault, huh? Oh wait, no, hold on, I jumped ahead. Maul, you punched this guy in the face. Do you want to give me a brawl check?
Yep. Difficulty?
2 purples. Oh my god, it's so big.
Could I have taken a boost?
Yeah.
Or was that a reaction?
No, you can take a boost. You can go ahead and roll a boost if you want.
Did not help. Got a lot of advantage though.
How would you like to spend your lot of advantage?
Can I fake that I didn't try to punch him and go, oh my.
Sure. What's your deception check?
I don't think it's that great. Deception. 2 green.
Still better than his check.
I'm just heading to decommissions. Begging your pardon.
You can say that if you want, because he initially is like, "What are you up? You're just one of those droids." Continuing
Yep.
control. You're scheduled for decommissioning. Go down there.
Okay. Thank you. Do 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 do. Oh my. Do 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 do.
Kizik. Now you are in here. Oh, we need to get your token in here. We haven't grabbed anybody's tokens.
I'll climb into the vent now.
Alright, Waz. The Geonosian is throwing things into any bag he can find. He suddenly stops for a second and reconsiders doing something and then starts shoving something into a different bag. But you're in front of this incredibly intricate computer terminal that looks like it's capable of holding just petabytes of data.
Yeah, did I pull my slicing gear kit from upstairs?
Sure.
Cool. I got that. I have one last data spike. I plug everything in. I hit the on button. It says boom, boom, and I try to just start control seeing all of the info.
Copy all.
Give me a 1 red and 3 purple check for computers.
Pseudo.
You may have 2 boosts.
Hey, so this is a good time for a light side dice? Just, you know.
I already used a dark side dice. That's why it's a red.
Okay.
CP/A.
Okay. So the drive comes up and it's like, yeah, you don't have a valid login and you've tried your password 3 times, so I'm just going to go ahead and say you can't log in. With your 3 advantages, though, you do notice that it's got 6 very obviously removable front-facing drives. And the only thing holding those drives in is a tiny little generic key fob thing that you could bypass with a skullduggery check really easy and just rip the drives out.
Sounds like it has 6 removable drives.
Yes.
All drives are removable if you know where they are.
That's correct.
Skullduggery.
Yep. It's
2 purples.
2 purples. Yes. Actually, it should really only be 1 purple. All right. So you rip these 6 drives out. I shall come up with drives here in a second. I had a token for them, but I've misplaced it. It's almost as though I knew that was going to happen. Shit, what did I do with the token? I'll just use one of these. I'll make these things anyway. Alright, so, you know how the drives, Clack has the things, the alarms are going off. Ghost, you notice that amongst other things pulling in, a lot of police are pulling into this building. And starfighters.
Police and starfighters. So what are the fire trucks doing?
There are fire trucks moving in as well. They're just not alone.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take up position with the fire brigade and move into position to the 43rd floor.
Okay.
I want to say that I imagine we would have been smart enough to like rig fire explosives a floor or 2 below our escape hatch, so there would be a reason for the truck to be in that area.
But you didn't call it.
We did say 41.
Yeah, we went down to 41. I thought Wes did that.
Okay. I'll accept that. So the building's on fire. Not heavily, but it's on fire. You have these super heavy backpacks. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Payne is going to have to help carry these bags.
Okay.
These bags are heavy. They are not unmanageable, but between the 3 of you, you do have to work together to get them like up this hole and out.
I am up there now.
Okay.
So it's like one pushes up, the flying guy helps lift it to the third guy, and he pulls it all the way up.
Yeah, something like that. So you guys get up into the ventilation system. Ghost, give me, because you're going to initiate the pickup from the same hatch that Clax came in.
Yes.
Okay. Give me a.
That's the only one I know of.
Give me a 2 red planetary piloting. And everyone else, give me a 2 purple athletics check to catch up. Basically, to be there on time.
I don't get a boost or anything.
You can take a boost for, concentrating. Also, don't forget Randall's in there with you. And it's piloting stuff, so, he can help you.
Oh yeah. Hey Randall,
Yippers.
I made it.
help me out.
Yep.
1 success, 2 advantage.
I mean, you could do the boost thing, but I was more talking about, the co-pilot maneuver. But,
Yeah, you should definitely help me co-pilot.
okay.
All right.
So I think everybody passed their athletics check. I haven't heard from Kizik yet.
Oh, it was close. It was close.
Why did you have red?
I had 2 reds.
He has 2 reds because he's piloting. And he's piloting through starfighters, police, and other fire brigades.
I thought I was talking to Kizik.
He didn't have... No, Kizik
I
didn't
wrote
have...
the bottom
That's
one.
Kizik's up here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you guys just start running up. The vent pops. Who's going to be the first person to try to jump over? I imagine you guys would pop the side hatch, and you got Randall standing there, and he's trying to, catch the stuff. You going to chuck the loot first? You going to jump first? How are you doing the loading here?
The flying guy will take one of them and throw them, across his chest like a backwards backpack and jump while flying.
This can't possibly end badly. This will be fine.
Well, the good news is if he falls, there's going to be 0 evidence.
I'm hoping the wings with the running start and trajectory will give me enough to make it over with 1 backpack.
Well, the backpacks are extremely heavy, and you're already near your encumbrance limit, so you are over encumbered. So I'm going to call it a 1 red, 1 purple planetary piloting, because that's your flying skill. There they are.
2 success, 2 advantage.
All right, you make it. As a Z-95 flies way too close to your fire brigade thing, it's zipping by. It's banked in such a way that its pilot is watching you as you jump over across here. And I'm going to flip a dark side token here. He definitely sees that you guys are loading shit onto the actual fire truck as he zips past. Next person.
Yippee.
That'd be me.
We gonna throw the gear across.
What's the difficulty to jump across? The gear's already across.
No, 1 bag. There's 2 bags.
One of the 2 is across.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll grab the other bag then.
Okay.
What's the difficulty?
To jump?
Yep.
It's 1 red, 1 purple athletics check to jump.
Do I, notice this guy saw me coming across?
I think the only person who would have probably noticed it would have been Ghost.
I made it.
You did make it. You didn't even despair, which I thought for sure was going to happen.
Me too. I was planning on that nosedive.
That was going to happen.
Yeah. With Viridium charges.
Could have been worse. Could have been the other
I was
way.
going to ion blast the Iridium charges on the way down just to make sure everybody else died too. I mean, when I hit the ground, all the firefighters and the innocent police people.
Welcome to the end of the season.
Not you guys.
He just wants to use another character. Okay. Kizik, you're the only one left.
Jumping. Oh my goodness. Skin on my teeth.
So, yeah, Payne jumps. He's like, I can't believe I made it. And then he feels a thump behind him as Waz jumps in and bumps into the droid, and the whole ship kind of rocks for a second, and Waz like catches himself before falling back out of the door. And now you all are on board the ship.
Randall, improvised explosive. Throw that sucker. Blow it up.
What are we blowing up?
Yeah,
The hole that we just jumped out of. We leave no evidence as we fly away.
we can make lots of explosions. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, he can do that. He can't do it instantly.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take off.
Okay. That's a wiser decision than sitting there and waiting for Randall to find something to make an explosive out of.
You mean when we have bags of Beridia?
Yeah, of loot right there.
Randall just takes out the building.
Do you have the full throttle feat?
I have enough experience to buy it, but I hadn't bought it yet. But it was gonna be my next one.
If you are going to absolutely buy it, then I'll give it to you.
I am 100% buying full throttle.
That is your stat card for this vehicle.
Excuse me. Go on.
It's going to be
Already.
Go on.
because there's a Z95 that is coming around the corner with a buddy, and they are definitely signaling for you to pull over, as it were, but they're doing so over loudspeakers. Like they haven't figured out your comm code yet. So they're in a position where like they've seen you're up to something and they're trying to force you to land.
All right. I'm gonna get on my comms and message Mr. Clean,
Okay.
and I'm gonna let him know that we're coming in hot and fast, and we're gonna need his truck
Okay.
to meet up at the rendezvous.
I'm going to move you off of here, and then I'm going to give us a blank table so that we can do a quick chase scene. It's 12:03. Do we want to call it here? With the
We can
chase?
finish. I don't care.
My
guess-
wife's already asleep, so I don't care.
Yeah, I'm losing steam rather quickly.
Okay. That's 1 for no.
3 for yes.
3 for
1, 2,
yes.
3.
My vote would be we continue this a different time. That's
All right. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the next time with a chase scene. And that will be not this coming Saturday, but the one after. And yeah, I mean, you guys still have this chase scene. You got to do the handoff. You did pull off the most complicated parts of the heist in one night, which is not too bad. You did a lot of prep work in the off session we did, so you got to keep that in mind. Also, make sure to chat over Discord about things you liked, didn't like about it, because this is kind of an experimental style for us. So, I'm looking for feedback on it, because I feel like there were parts of it where you guys were super bored, and that's obviously not the goal. So,
I will say right now, I was definitely super intrigued, but from my character standpoint, especially in the prep, there's not much for me to do.
I did warn
And
you
that
might
was
be a
something
problem.
that kind of hit, and I did get a little bored for a period of time. I think I sat for like 45 minutes without saying anything.
he did warn you about that.
I did tell you that was going to be a thing with this particular, especially this campaign.
Yep, and I definitely understand it. It's just something that happened that I did notice during this. I didn't necessarily mind it. I definitely enjoyed being able to sit back and just puzzle through it.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, so
Right on.
we are going to call it there, guys.